to the Twitters.
All I need to do is push one button.
I mean, I should be doing more, but I don't.
I mean, I had a lot that I could normally do, but seeing that my PC's graphic card decided that its HDMI port is no longer going to be functional, I'm only working with one monitor, so everything I would have two monitors for to click doing all the things, I now will all be doing on one.
10 o'clock.
Damn.
It hurt my soul a little bit, not gonna lie. I almost cried in the car. I was a little mad about it.
You got an hour.
I would have cried. I would have just cried.
Look, I was on the verge of tears when my last graphics card short-circuited, and I'm sitting here because my computer just would not start. It sat there and it would power up for half a second and shut back down because
Oh yeah, I remember telling you about that.
the power supply's sitting there like, we can turn over, but it's unsafe for us to continue to operate. Took my whole computer apart down to the freaking processor. Applied new thermal paste, reassembled the whole thing, left the graphics card out, and thankfully it started back up.
You're like, yes.
Oh,
I do have a new intro. I set up thanks to being bored.
Woo.
very nice.
Nice.
It actually shifts between 3 scenes.
What? 3 scenes?
Is it on the
Oh,
sofa?
shit.
Ah, no, didn't want that.
My poor child was stressing all day today.
How come?
There you go.
The kittens got out of the house.
Oh, no.
So then I was stressing, like, okay, if these motherfucking cats don't come back, and they break my baby's heart, they better hope to God I don't find them.
Grab a drink.
Yep.
That is true. That is the thing. I can hit the whole change screen while I grab my beverage because I forgot. Intro.
You laughing in the background like, what the hell's going on over there?
She's laughing in the background for other reasons.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, that's already one. All right, gotta make sure everything looks low as possible. That way when I start rolling, I don't get a nat 1 right out the gate.
Oh, so sad.
Congratulations.
You're not in your room.
The dreaded 2 thing so close to a nat 1. It hurts.
Yes. Different games.
Things that have been acquired, some people on the internet have been argued with, things
Yeah.
Life.
Who's arguing?
One was Andrew Tate bro who was still sad that Andrew Tate was arrested, and I couldn't help but just continue to put laugh emojis to all him complaining to me.
Yeah, he's a
All his pain I could not feel because I was laughing too hard.
That's a different kind of pain. The fun kind.
But he
It's like,
helping
take
guys
that
out, and all the rates and suicide and all the stuff that's going on for guys. So I was like, any guy that needs Andrew Tate to give him a purpose in life, I don't need to exist. I'll say it. You can be like Alice in Wonderland and disappear. I don't need you at all in my world view at the slightest. I ain't hear shit that you said, but it sounded muffled. But I'm assuming that it was in solidarity.
Yeah.
Solidarity.
I'm gonna assume you agree with me.
Hey, I'm all for it.
about this at least.
All right, so where we last left off, the first year students were in the middle of their midterms.
Oh yeah, that's why I wanted a new character.
With four of the classes passed, with 4 of the classes taken of the midterm so far, everyone in Team Moonshadow has aced their tests so far. Except for Tahlu on his last class of magical combat, due to choosing not to participate and exiting the test. So, where we will pick up is right back there, with the next upcoming day's test being martial combat. Does anybody need a recap of how to study and prepare for the test and how those rules go?
Don't roll a 1.
Studying is a 1 reroll. If you succeed, studying together is advantage to get that reroll.
Yep.
All-nighter is 2 rerolls, and all-nighters together is advantage to get those 2 rerolls.
Correct. An all-nighter will leave you exhausted, though, which has its own penalties.
Mm-hmm.
2 tests? We have 2 more, right?
Survival and hand-to-hand. Hand-to-hand's the next one coming up.
Yep, we have martial combat with Sensei Madara Yoshito tomorrow. The old man who whoops ass on a regular basis.
This is definitely a moment I am getting ruined to help me study, not the other way around.
The first person Ruin engaged in basically physical combat and got smacked around since he got into the academy.
Also, you can cheat on the test, which is a sleight of hand followed by a bluff check. You must succeed at both checks and you will ace the test. Your test will consist of 2 rolls. If you pass 1 roll, you pass the test. If you pass 2 rolls, you ace the test. If you fail both rolls, you fail the test.
Okay, survival, I'm not even going to study, bro. I know this stuff. I would read this book, man.
Cocky and shit, I like it.
Right? Just
Nope,
like, no.
I am studying my ass off for both of these. Survival, I might take an all-nighter on because, let's see, I don't know.
I must say, I got a footprint book to identify species and stuff, so I'm...
Survival
like,
or hand-to-hand, which do I study for
Oh, the
more?
test is the same
I
day.
must say, if you think about it, the survival is the last test of the week. You would not have to overnight until like the following day or the next day.
Yeah, but the thing being is that the physical combat, which I don't exactly excel in, is going to be a little difficult for me regardless.
It's like saying you're a little guy. Look, I can show you how to hit somebody that's bigger than you.
Okay.
Is the test...
The tests are on 2 separate days. So to basically, I can tell you which day of the week is coming up. Let me look here.
Only 1 test a day, correct?
Yes.
That is correct. You are coming up on Fire Day, because you started on Toll Day, Will Day, Oath Day, which was today. You're in the Night of Oath Day, and it is coming up on Fire Day, which is basically considered our Thursday.
Yeah, and I think the last thing was we heard was after the test for our team was done, Average came up and she was mad because she failed.
Yep.
And before I went to sleep, I wanted to find Shig.
Okay. Oath Day, the 22nd of Sarenrae. So you're looking for Shig. Where would you go to look for Shigaroo?
If I can help, don't look anywhere educational.
Don't look anywhere educational.
Yeah. I was going to say the cafeteria. Or,
Right? Like this biggest.
I would say, ironically, you've never seen Shig in the cafeteria.
I literally saw him in the cafeteria, though, to get the jewel, the fucking shitballs.
I thought it
Yeah,
was
I
out there in the courtyard outside the cafeteria.
Correct.
Oh, was it outside?
He was outside
yeah.
of the cafeteria in the courtyard because he runs around and does shit, but he doesn't actually go into the cafeteria, at least while it's open, because Shig is Shig, so...
I will go outside.
Okay, I will say make a Make a wisdom check to see if you could deduce where to find Shigeru. Let's see if you can pull it off.
That is a 23.
All right. So with the 23, let's say that you go on the lookout for a while. And what you end up seeing eventually is Shig carrying a large sack that seems to be as big as him and dragging it across the grounds.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna walk over and ask if he needs help.
You see him kind of looking at you like, what, who do you... Oh, it's you. And you see him kind of slowly like step between you and the bag. No, this is fine. This is nothing. This is some stuff for Sprada, you know. How you doing? Hey.
No questions asked about this, but if you answer a couple questions, I could easily pick that up for you and help you take it wherever you want.
You could lift this if I answer some questions. And just see him narrow his eyes at you.
Does it look like it's something I could easily lift or not?
No, it looks big as hell. Like this bag looks to be like damn near 5 feet worth of stuff.
Okay, what if I have my ways? I can figure it out. I can help him out. I can help you out if you help me out. That's all.
How about you see him kind of like look around real quick, like left and right. How about we walk and talk as he continues to... This whole time he hasn't stopped dragging the bag. He's just moving slow.
I grab a part with him and start dragging.
All right.
And I'm like, okay, do I know what color an iron stone for wisdom? Not wisdom.
You want to know about an iron stone?
For strength would be, yeah. Wait, is it the red one? No.
You're asking about the iron stone for wisdom?
No, I've already got that one. I meant for strength.
What it would be for strength? I don't think that you do know. Do you think you know?
Who knows?
I'm gonna look that up right now. You can go to somebody else.
All right. I mean, we could go with that. So you will be doing that. As far as those who will be studying for tonight for combat tomorrow, let's go with Sin, who is eagerly nervous. Are you choosing to study? Study with Ruin, correct?
I'm definitely taking pointers from Ruin.
Good.
That's right, little guy. Right here. Remember, go for the kneecap.
All right. Do you have a problem studying all night, Ruin, or?
I mean, I don't really have a reason to study all night, and this should be fairly easy.
All right, then I guess we'll just do the one study session.
If all else fails in the morning, I can give you a brush up on everything before we go to class.
Okay.
All right. So for you two to make your studying rolls, I'll say for you, Ruin, because of how much you normally practice, you automatically gain advantage on not only the studying, but for the test.
Yes.
Because of the amount of effort that you put in practicing and every single day. As far as for you, Sin, you can also make your roll to see whether or not you get advantage on the test. You don't get advantage. You gotta have studying with you, so you get advantage on the study check. So go ahead and
see if I can get the reroll.
And if you would be ever so kind, what skill would you like to associate with your combat ability? I'll let you pick any skill.
I have a quick question. Whatever happened to the after the test thing?
Oh, that's still being worked out. Ideally, there's some words that are going to be had with Jace. Jace isn't having the best of evenings.
I'll say the last I remember is we were leaving. We were still in the classroom.
Yeah, we were waiting in the classroom. I think Avarice had just failed her test, and I believe I chased after her, asking her if she wanted to blow me up.
Oh no! For the
So
most
the
part,
armor drops there.
for the most part, the rest of the case went fairly simple. Celine dismissed you all and told you that you should probably prepare for your next upcoming tests. For the most part, because she didn't want anybody around when she ripped into Jace.
Mm.
And
Smart.
all of you, since the danger of being around there, weren't finna tell her no, so you all were like, yes, yeah, we're gonna go to our goddamn rooms and get up out of here.
I think in that case, I'd probably be with, if they let me, I'd be around Ruin and Sin.
I got no problem with it. Ruin has
And
no
I'd probably
problem.
go over a lot of what, a lot of the training that I got with Xavier.
Good stuff.
Oh no, because Ruin's trained with Xavier plenty of times. Got beat up by Xavier.
Mm-hmm.
Would I be able to use stealth to kind of at least kind of dip and dodge my way around the combat that Ruin is trying to give me, just trying to be dexterous?
There you go. You'd probably want to use Dex instead.
I would give you
Yeah.
a straight dex roll for that then instead of stealth.
All right, that works perfectly for me.
Yeah, because Ruin's going to be using his strength.
Okay, that's an 18 total with a 15 on the die.
Nice. Ruin, if you want to use strength, go for it.
I already had a 21. I rolled a 17
Nice.
straight out.
On the right side, it's actually kind of fun because Tahlu, you notice, as basically Ruin is like, all right, just try to dodge getting hit and just reaching at Sin, and Sin is dodging fairly well. And then you see Sin kind of get this moment like, I can do this, and then you just see like a hand just from Ruin just smack him dead in the head, and knock him backwards. Like, I almost had it.
I'm gonna keep trying.
buddy.
Tyler's just sitting there laughing.
No, I'll pick myself back up. I mean, I've got, 10 damage resistance to non-lethal, so long as you're not throwing full haymakers, I can bounce back from this all day.
Yeah,
Yep,
I was
pretty
gonna
much.
say, it felt very good. You dodged like 4 or 5 punches. You're like, I can do this. And right as you had that moment, like, yeah, bow, just smacked you right in the head. Because you kind of stopped, but Ruin didn't. And it was like,
Yep. All right, then I'm definitely doubling down.
All
I'm
right.
trying again.
But you definitely get advantage on your test. You succeeded and passed your check, and Ruin, you, of course, passed your check.
Yep, flying colors. I didn't even need to roll it back.
What would I need to? Let me see.
Because if I did, it was lower than what I rolled.
You get the chance to explain to me what skill or ability check you want to make to try to get past your DC to prepare for the test. Ability checks have a lower DC than skill checks, which tend to be higher. But the better you can explain it to me or why a skill would work or an ability would work per se, then the better your chances to lower that DC because it makes sense.
I want to use charisma because I've used it before in battle against Renwick.
Going with experience, I'll give you that, so you can make a charisma check. You need a DC, I'll give you a DC 14.
I
about
hit
say-
it just barely. I got an 11.
Ooh, what?
11 plus my 3.
All right, so with that, you get advantage on your test tomorrow. You get a reroll, basically. You get 1. So you've earned a reroll. Sin, you have a reroll. Ruin, you have 2 rerolls because you just have rerolls on combat tests.
Yes.
All righty then. All right, back to you, Luna. You ready?
Yes, it's a blue stone. And I don't know if you would know about it, but I'm going to ask. When you got those things from that place, you know, the one of the ones that you gave me earlier, did you happen to come across the blue one too?
Why would you hear?
Right. Basically, just kind of pause that you like. Just kind of does that look around again, like looking to see if anybody's around to pay attention. Why?
Because it would be beneficial to me, and I don't have access to it right now. And even if at least next time, if you see at least one, can you leave it for me? If you don't, know about it right now. You know what I mean?
So what's in it for me?
I don't know. Along with helping you with this right now.
So you helping me with this bag that I was already doing quite well with somehow means that I owe you a favor?
I could help you out with something else. I was just saying, this is proof that I'm willing to help. Is all I'm saying.
You see him kind of pause for a moment, and kind of stop dragging the bag, and reaches his hand out. Agree to help me with the favor, no questions asked, and I'll do it. And he just smiles at you.
Oh, goodness.
You know what? All right, no questions asked. And I shake his hand.
Mm-hmm. And he gives your hand a shake, and all of a sudden, as you're shaking his hand, you hear a voice, very familiar, ring out. Shig! As you both jump, it's like, shit. As you both turn and see the headmaster walking across the lawn.
Oh, shit.
Immediately calling that favor in already.
Actually, that's probably the one person he'd be like, oh, damn, I gotta fess up this one.
Yeah, you just see shit kind of like slump his shoulders like, fuck. Like, this is your fault. You see him turn around like, Sprada, sir, hi. And you see him like give a command and salute and everything like that. And you just see Sprada just continue to slowly stalk that way.
Did he hand me the IM stone?
Oh no, he didn't have the IM stone at all.
Okay. Well, at least I agreed to whatever I agreed to with that whateverness.
Facts.
That might not be a good thing.
No, it'd be funny. Just immediately nudges you. All right, I'm calling that favor. Distracted.
Nah, again, this is one of those moments of Shig knows better.
Mm-hmm. He understands that trying to get one over on Sprada just doesn't end well at all.
Usually tends to hurt.
Mm-hmm. So as he comes up there, you see Sprada standing there. You just kind of pause for a moment, Luna.
Evening.
Before I begin, do I want to know what is in the bag? As he closes his eyes. And you just hear Shig see about the bag, right? I know it looks like something is up to it, but I don't think that Luna should be punished for whatever item she might have acquired legally or illegally in the bag.
I just roll my eyes and stare at Sprada like, come on now. You know. Like, I don't have to tell you. Come on now.
And then you see Shig walk over and says, look, it even has property of Team Moonshadow on it. I was trying to get her to do the right thing in this situation, sir, but I feel that my junior classman is gonna fall to the wrong side of the tracks and do the wrong things at the wrong time, because I am a chained Kitsune. And you see him kind of stand up and like salute with his hand over his chest.
I look over to the bag to see if it actually has the Moonshadow symbol on it.
It does say property of Team Moonshadow on it.
And I look at him and, scrunch, what is it? Scrunch my eyes? What is it? Narrow my eyes. There we go. That's the word.
Narrowing scrutiny.
Mm-hmm. You see that Sprada's face is completely unturned by this. And he just says, how about this? I made a summons for you to come to my office an hour ago. And you see Shig like, oh, that was you? And then you see Sprada, which this bag easily weighs like probably somewhere close to 800 pounds. You see Sprada grab the bag from you and says, excuse me, Luna. And then grabs Shig by the back of his neck as he starts to run off and just lifts him from the ground with his like legs kicking in the air.
If it's mine, I'll assume he's going to give it back to us. Otherwise, I'm just going to watch him go. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And as he starts to leave, he kind of pauses for a moment and just says, is everything okay with you, Luna?
Sure.
And you just hear shit, yeah, we should stop the focus about her. She clearly is going through something right now.
Do you feel that something's off with me? Like,
I might not be the best diplomat, but my sister taught me that someone answers a question with a question, they're hiding something. Just know that if you need to talk, my door is always open.
Shig's taking notes.
Shig is like, we should talk right now. As the headmaster, and you just see all of a sudden Sprada kind of shake Shig, just like a ragdoll a little bit. It's like, all right, I get it.
I'll just nod to him and say, I'll remember that. Thank you.
And as you hear Shig getting dropped off, you just hear him kind of like looking at you with his hands up, like, help me.
Look, that's my Captain Army. Leave that man alone. Just let him go.
I'm just gonna watch him go. If he's not saying this is not part of the plan or whatever. You know what I mean?
He didn't say that. So hey, look, the deal is the deal, and you
Exactly.
just see him being carried off by Sprata, who is actually lifting the heavy ass bag over his shoulder while actually still holding up Shig from touching the ground and trying to run away. As they just walk back towards the teacher's tower.
Understands that this doesn't mean I'm not going to help him. I still want that iron stone.
Very much so. But yes, you did come across Shig at, unfortunately, the wrong time for him as he was trying to make his great escape. With all of his acquired treasures and shiny things.
I wonder what was in that bag. So tomorrow is combat and not survival.
Tomorrow
Correct.
is combat, and then survival is the final day.
Okay. I guess I will study. I just won't study for survival. Yeah. Why?
All right. So if you want to study, what skill or ability are you going to use?
For combat, this is just regular combat, not
This
magic.
is just physical martial combat. Throwing of the hands.
Let's do. I'm just gonna go for strength because. Yeah, why not?
All right, and make a strength check with your strong ass.
Poor shit.
Why would I tell you that? It's a 21.
All right. With that, you earned a reroll on your test tomorrow. On one of the portions of the test tomorrow, you earned a reroll. All right, Wanda, what are you doing for your evening of studying?
I'm going to study, but not pulling all-nighter.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
D20 whatever you're going to be using.
I guess I'll call it strength.
All right, go ahead and roll a strength ability check.
You want to do a 22?
All right, 22. Nice. You earn yourself a reroll also. All right, so look at that. Everybody earned them a reroll. Ruin has 2. Is there anything else anybody wanted to do before the end of the evening?
I'm going to...
Probably not. Just make sure I get something decent to eat, and then probably to bed maybe a little early.
I think anything. I think at that point, like after or around lunchtime or dinner time for supper, I would probably approach Team 8 or Team Dark Spell. Ask Ever, see how she's doing, or if she wants help in the hand-to-hand combat, aside from having Adam there to help her with it.
She seems to be fine. Seems to be sitting there talking with her team as they're going over combat strategies for the next day. And she seems determined for everyone to ace the combat test.
Okay.
So far.
So far, all right. Well, I guess Ruin would probably just sit back. Okay, well, you don't need my help, then okay.
To which you see Adam says, no, the boss is kind of in her zone. She's highly motivated right now.
I believe it, but especially after earlier.
Yeah, right, she seems to be very focused and very intent, to where she's not being rude to you, but kind of like when you know that you're in the middle of something, but you're like, I need to get back to what I was doing.
Yeah. It's like, all right, good luck, everybody. And hide out.
But yes, indeed, with that being the case, you all find yourselves taking a slumber, resting, as Team 7 does. Well, Team 1 now does, Team Moonshadow. Luna, you're still out on your rooftop?
Yes.
Excellent. I'm going to say make a survival check for me, please.
Man, what you want from me? Why you want leave me alone, man?
You're out in the goddamn wild. You can see the sky.
I'm just here. You know what? It's fine. It's whatever. I got a 31.
Okay, with that 31, you can look up and see the clouds moving in. You can tell that the next day or so it's going to start raining. It looks like it's a big thunderstorm moving in.
Okay, next day or so, meaning like I shouldn't be sleeping out here.
Like you're fine tonight, but by tomorrow night, you'd expect it's going to be raining pretty heavily.
Okay. Good to know.
Hey, look, just so you're aware, so you're outside, you can see when the weather's changing.
That's beautiful.
Oh,
I might even stay out here to hear the rain on my tent.
Hey, whatever floats your boat or flies your lost remote, all right? So with that, the next day comes around, and as our dear, dear students wake up on this blessed fire day.
Get up early in the morning, start my practicing. I'll probably stand up for I'm like, hey, you want me to brush you up on it while I practice, or you want to start right away?
I can at least do some stretches and have you go over it.
Yeah, good enough. I'll give brush up on everything that we studied last night in the midst of my workout while he's doing stretches.
Nice. So far, so good. And a lot of this makes sense to you. So you're like, okay. Because you understand the concept. You're just like, physically, my body doesn't fight the way yours does, Room, but you're understanding how to be more comfortable with your own physicality in your body.
So you can't hit hard, but you can at least move fast enough to get away from getting hit.
Okay. That kind of worked. So it's not so much about hitting the hardest, it's knowing where to hit?
Yeah, where to hit and how to get away from getting hit.
I can do the latter part very good.
And with that, as you all begin for the actual classroom, you actually get a notification on your cards that you are to go out to the arena today.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
Let's
Fight music starts playing.
Yep. I'll set up for a fight.
It's like, you got this, Sin. I'm going to throw a little towel over Sin's back. You got this. Rubbing his shoulders.
I already stretched though, Ruin. What are you doing this for?
I'm hyping you up. That way you can crush whoever you're fighting.
I'm gonna look down at my hands and look back up at Ruin like, I don't think you understand the actual definition of the word crush.
Well, make sure that you don't get splat. One of the two.
Okay, I can do that.
And with that, as you come walking into the arena, you just see that Sensei Yoshido seems to be standing there, hands behind his back, comfortable in an all-white beautiful robe with gold lining and symbols among it. And as you walk in, you can hear him just slightly humming to himself, a kind of calm and low, slow tune. And as everybody kind of marks in there and begins to walk and mill about and people talk, you hear him tap his staff twice on the ground, which kind of reverberates, and you're like, the fuck?
No, immediate attention.
Right, everybody immediately snaps to. And you hear him say, form a circle. And this whole time he hasn't opened his eyes.
Okay, 4 minute circle.
And you and all the rest of the first years form a circle, which gets to be roughly about 60 feet wide or so around them as a diameter. And you just hear him say, if you know thy enemy and you know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. Is this correct? And you kind of see this awkward pause as a few people are...
I'm going to say, I guess, yes, Sensei.
And then you see him for his first time open his eyes and look towards you and says, Ruin, why is this correct?
Because if you know yourself, at least you know what you're capable of versus what your opponents are capable of. So you not have to look for weaknesses in yourself. You need to find the weaknesses in your opponent because you know what your limitations are.
Very well spoken. Is there anyone that would disagree? And then you all of a sudden hear Adam speak up and says, I think that's actually incorrect, Sensei. To which he turns around and says, and why is that, Adam? Because if I know myself and I know my enemy, then there is no number of battles of which I need to fear the result of. Far more than 100. Interesting. I would say that you are both correct. It's well to know yourself because you know your limitations. And it's also good to understand that when you know everything you can of the battlefield, you hold the keys to victory. Today we will focus on martial combat. The capability of you to fight someone who is in close quarters to you.
I'll be right back. I have to go pee. I mean, I have to use the bathroom.
All right. And with that, you see all of a sudden this magical shimmer as a magical dome seems to rise up from the sides of the arena to then encircle the dome. And then you feel the same barrier seem to fall up under across the sands up under your own feet. And then you feel it suddenly, you can see this kind of light outline kind of overlap everybody else inside individually. Traditionally, in the past, there had been a massive battle royale of all people and individuals, and the last ones standing were the ones who passed the test. We are no longer having such a crude method for determining one's capability. To begin with, Team Moonshadow, step forward.
Our team will step forward, I guess.
That's correct.
Tahlu will be a little bit more to the back, like, fuck this.
Stop tuning exams.
Ironically, as you all step forward, everybody else in the circle seems to fade away. Like, you can only see Sensei now. You're like, the fuck?
No.
This is how you shall see about your combat. And then you see him raise the staff and level it horizontally in front of him. And before you, you see that there are seats that are standing there that you expected to sit in or to accommodate you. And a paper along with a pen just sits down there with a bunch of different lists about different ways that combat can be done and strategies. You may begin. So this is where you get to do your first roll. Everybody gets to roll a d20. And whichever modifier you used before, you can use that now.
It's a 21 for me.
Okay.
Damn. I have to use a reroll.
15 for me.
All right, that's another 21 for me. So I burned up one reroll, so I got one left.
Yeah, I'm going to use a reroll on that. Okay, from a 1 to a 19, plus 3 to 22.
Nice.
20.
You got a 20?
A dirty 20, yeah.
Dirty 20.
All right. So with that one, once you're done finishing with the tests, you see that they seem to all fade away and disappear. And all of you are ringed in a slight green halo that you passed.
Yeah.
That at least means that we've passed the test, and we don't have to get an ace, but it would be nice.
And says, now for your combat portion. And you see him slowly step back. And as he starts to step back, you see him disappear. And out of where he disappeared, you see a version, ironically, of the different teachers seem to step forward. So you see the headmaster. You see his sister Celine. You see a facsimile of Jace. and you see what looks to be Georgi and Kristoff, but they don't look to be exact replicas. They seem to be almost negative inverse colored images of them, if that makes sense to you. So if you took a negative filter and put them over their skin, that's how they would look, and those are the versions in front of you. So you don't feel that it's the real ones, but they seem to look very much like the rest of them, very much in every way. As you see Sprada slowly draw forth 2 blades, you see Celine begin to raise her hands, and arcane glyphs raise up. You see Jace take out a rapier that seems to be all black, and then seems to cast some type of spell that puts the glyph around his left hand. You see Kristoff take out his spear and his full set of armor and twirl it around at a flourish. And you see Georgi take out a huge, massive great axe and slam it into the ground, to which you actually feel the tremor of the ground, and you see the impact like, all right.
Nice.
So, who would like to go first?
Like, saying, you want this or you want me to step up?
I guess I'm the team leader. I'll go first.
All right, you got this, champ. You're the champ. Don't worry.
That deep hard breath of,
Look, it's not always easy being the leader, but I have to.
Mm-hmm. And then you hear Sensei Yoshido's voice says, choose your opponent. And when he says choose your opponent, you see all the different professors take what looks to be a combat stance for each other. And you see Sprada drop back into a battle stance, Celine raise her hands in a defensive stance, Jace seemingly light his rapier with glowing magical energy. All the things. So you're like, all right. So you get to choose between those 5.
Those 5. I'm gonna look over my shoulder and go, Ruin, which one do you want?
Don't worry about it, little buddy. Either one of them's fine for me.
Okay. Educated guess moment.
Are we all able to pick the same player? Do we have to pick different ones?
That's one of the things I'm weighing in my head right now. If I knock out one of them, that's better for everyone else. But if we can pick the same one, we can build knowledge on what's going to happen. My gut tells me to go with Georgi, because we know all of the others' strengths and weaknesses. And even facsimiles, we know Jace watered down his, so this is probably a less watered down version of it, so it's definitely going to use more spells. Celine and Sprada are even high caliber players, even without a watered down version. So that's going to be difficult. Georgi is a wild card at the moment, and as a tactician, I want to have all of the information so as many of my people can survive and pass as possible, even if that means putting myself on the line. So I'm going to go for Georgi.
All right. So you call out for Georgi, and you hear Georgi kind of give out a rah and step forward. Now, to remember, for those who don't know who Georgi is, imagine a red-haired version of Thor. He's about 6'6", extremely muscular, basically wears a vest, keeps his arms bared, and his great axe is damn near as big as Sinit's.
Nice.
So with that, he seems to step forward, and when he steps forward, the other professors seem to all stand in place. And with that, roll initiative.
Like all of us?
No, just saying. Y'all trying
Okay,
to jump in.
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
21. 18 plus 3.
With
21.
that, you win the initiative, as Georgi is big, but not the fastest guy. What would you do for your first move? Or to make this a lot easier for you, actually, since you got to roll first, you get to now roll your ability check, which was dexterity, I believe, for combat, to see if you pass this portion. And you don't have a reroll anymore, but you do also still have your fate die, so you can still technically reroll because of that.
Yeah, that's a 7 on the die. I'm definitely taking another reroll. Okay, I like that a lot better. That's a 17 plus 3 for a dirty 20.
All right. So let's see how this one rolls out with his. Oh. What you all see next, you wouldn't believe it if you weren't sitting there watching in front of you. Jorgie, you see, seemingly begins to rage, and seemingly like you see the veins pop on his kind of light, clear skin. You see his hair kind of blast back, almost Super Saiyan-like, and you see his eyes go bloodshot red. And as Jorgie runs towards Sin, you hear the ground impacting and feel the vibration as he's stumping. It's roughly about 280, almost 300 pounds of a mountain of man and muscle rushing at Sin.
I believe in you, little buddy. You got this.
And as he begins to swing, all of a sudden in a big overhand arc, you see a huge swing, and Sin just barely sidesteps to the left, and the swing misses, but you can feel from roughly about 30 feet away the wind of the blow kind of blow your hair back of how hard the blow came at him. And this pattern continues for about another roughly 10, 12, 15 swings. And just as the last one comes down, as there's a large jump, you see Sin just kind of step past and towards him, which is past where the blade can reach. And as he lands down, Sin just kind of tags Jorgie on the back. And then you hear Sensei Yoshido say, "Well done." And suddenly you see that Jorgie seems to disappear and fade into vanish. And Sin, you have aced your combat test.
I'm gonna collapse to the ground, just breathing heavily.
Look, yeah, I knew it, little buddy. You got this. He's a champ.
All right, and with that, you see that the remaining 4 are standing there.
Hey, we knocked the wild card out. We know we have information on everyone else.
That is very true.
Rowan's gonna step up when he gets the chat once the moment's over.
Very much. The moment is over. You have Celine, Sprada, Jace, and Kristoff to choose from.
Rowan's eyeballing straight over, and he goes, "Sprada."
To which you see Sprada step forward, and kind of with a double flourish of his blades, you see him step into reach of where you are, and roll initiative.
That's a 19 on my initiative.
All right, Sprada gets a 32 and goes
Yeah,
first.
I ain't beating that. No, so I was like, hey, no way.
Look, on the bright side, that's what he rolled a natural 20 on, so that makes the next part a little easier. If you want to roll your strength as your ability check, you can roll that.
All right. The damn dice cocked. I didn't even expect it to do that. Right, I'm gonna take my last reroll.
All right.
That's a natural 20. So that's a 24, sir.
24, all right.
Yeah, I was lucky. My die got cocked on an 18 and a 4.
Not bad. So with that, you see that you rush forward just as Sprada begins to. And as you pull out your blade, you try to match his dual fighting style. And as your blades clash, you, with your skill and ability as somebody who is sparred with Xavian and Jace and other powerful figures, you instantly can feel the difference between this and the real Sprada. You're like, okay, you might look like Sprada a bit. You might stand and mimic his moves, but you are nowhere near as powerful. And in the exchange that comes up, it's kind of odd. The moves look like Sprada's, but for you, Ruin, it's almost like they're moving in a slower motion. You're able to catch each of his blades and deflect them in back. And it takes you about a good 4 or 5 minutes to finally create an opening through a sequence of strikes. But you finally are able to get 2 quick strikes in where you're able to actually dispatch Sprada. In which, then, all of a sudden, Sprada just seems to dissipate. But even with him going slower and him not being as strong, it was difficult. You're like, fuck. It was like you knew what you could do, but you're like, from where you were to where you needed to get, you realized that it was going to be going through the whole alphabet to get there, but you were sure you were able to get there after that first exchange.
Like, well, the tougher of the set's gone, at least in that I know of. All right. Who's up next?
Which you have aced your martial combat test.
Woo!
I will go next.
All right. So up next, we got Wanda. Who are you choosing?
I will choose Jace.
All right. All right. So with that, you choose Jace, who steps forward. And as he steps forward with his black rapier that seems to almost elongate as he steps forward, and you're like, the fuck? Isn't that cheating?
Oh yeah, I activate my Shrine Gun like right now. That's not fair.
All right, so as you do so, you kind of fall into the moment, kind of fall into the paces, start to almost see and sense his next move before it happens. Roll initiative.
You know what? I did that without raging.
You did? Which is probably why it took so long. You realized that your strength was stronger than the duplicate without you raging. You're like, the fuck? All right. Jace comes towards you as he wins the initiative. Now, what you said you used strength, I believe, before for your ability check, so you get to make a strength check now.
I shall make.
And he will make one.
That's another 22.
All right. Now, when Sin had his fight, you could see that he was just barely dodging because it looked like Jorgi was just going all out, not using any tactics with it. With Ruin, it looked like he was able to match and eventually outpace Sprada using his same fighting style. What you all see from Wanda is some of the wildest shit that you've ever seen at this moment. Wanda, which weapon are you using, just to be clear?
Obviously, I'm going to be using Darkthorn. That's kind of Wanda's favorite weapon.
Mm-hmm. So, pulling out Darkthorn, you guys see Jace come in, and Jace, this version of Jace uses a quick feint and tries to dodge back in, and wherever the blade goes, Wanda just meets it. One hand back, just like a duelist, and you just hear a clashing of ting, 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 ting. And there's even magic sparking off of it, and after about 8 or 7 exchanges, you see that the Jace hasn't come any closer, has moved around and circled Wanda. Wanda hasn't moved or even shifted to block Jace, but has blocked every strike so far.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you've never seen this level of combat from Wanda.
There's no match for my boom.
And one almost impassioned move, you see that this Jace seems to draw a massive blast of lightning into his left hand, seems to grip his rapier with both hands, which seems to elongate with the lightning into a spear, and stabs at Wanda. And I would say, Ruin, you would probably catch this with your combat senses. You hear the blades crash, but only you catch the second strike where Wanda knocked the blade down of Jason to the ground, and then immediately struck fast and struck across the neck.
Well played.
And the whole time, Wanda never moved from the spot that they started in.
Nice.
I will say, Wanda, the amount of exhaustion that hits your body at this point is heavy. But you're able to easily walk back to where you were. But it was the type of thing where if you had to do anything else in the immediate term, it would have been a problem.
Yeah, I definitely try to play it off.
Make a bluff check.
I'm gonna roll for insight or sense motive.
Go ahead. You can roll a sense motive to see if you notice it.
All right. Well, mine's a 2, so they have.
That's gonna be a 25.
All right. So with that,
25% motive.
you can clearly see it, and you're like, it's a good playoff, but had that gone any longer, you'd have been in some trouble.
I
will totally let Wanda have this. I'm not going to ruin anything. I just want to know in my head that it's like, okay, Wanda was cutting it close as I was.
Mm-hmm.
But we're acing it so far.
So far, you've all aced it, and that leaves now Celine or Kristoff for Luna or Tahlu.
So do we get little halos off of this too, or no?
From what you can see is when you pass, you now see that your green goes to gold.
Oh. So Sen's gold too?
Sin has gold, Ruin has gold, Wanda, you have gold now also.
Yeah.
Can I go next?
Five.
And it's between you and Tahlu. If you step forward and Tahlu's not going to be like, I want to go forward.
Nah, Tahlu's not moving.
All right, Luna, you go forth and you get to choose who you fight.
Who are the two?
There is Celine and Kristoff.
Where's Kristoff?
Kristoff is Jorgi's older yet smaller brother. He's in full plate armor and has a huge trident spear.
He's more the tactical one of the two.
Yes. He's the one that's also the commander of the Aegis guards. He's the captain.
That hurts my feelings, but I don't care if I ace it. I'm going to pick him.
All right. All right, so as you pick Jorg, you see him twirl the spear around, his trident with a quick flourish. It seemingly cussed up a little dust storm. Roll initiative.
I have Flame Blossom.
Okay. You have your Flame Blossom.
Yes, I do. That's a dirty 20.
All right. Your dirty 20 beats his, so as you get ready to roll, you use strength, you get to make a strength check. Ooh, shit.
That's a natural 20 for a 23.
All right, that's a 23 total. Are you sure?
Yes, I am.
All right.
So I think you're getting higher than that.
I cannot.
So with that, as you see, Luna comes in with just a scream of aggression at Kristoff, who seems to fall back in almost a defensive stance. And it's one of the oddest things with the range advantage, as Kristoff can attack to about 10 feet out. You would think that he would be able to eventually just overpush Luna, but Luna is not only matching pace, trying to fight in and take strikes at Kristoff, but they seem to be evenly matched in this moment. And this goes on for about 5 minutes until there's a big flourish and a break in the action with Luna, you breathing a little heavy after 5 minutes of continual activity.
Yeah, that's nice. I like continual activity.
Well, with that being said, you get to roll another strength check as you both rolled natural 20s.
You're going to have to go with my dice tree. I'm sorry. I love you. I love you very much.
Ma'am.
I was being distracted. That's another net 20.
All right. This time, as you go back into it, you realize, Luna, that he's fallen into the same pattern. And you come to realize that while these facsimiles might have comparable skills and abilities, they don't think actively beyond what they seem to be programmed to be able to do. So while you go down a similar, same fighting style, it takes about another 5 minutes, but you eventually create an opening where you act as if you were going for a similar attack that he knocked you back on before, but he doesn't connect as you kind of flip the blade up to your other arm and kind of toss it like a spear, and you hit him.
Nice.
But you are tired of shit.
I bet.
Most fights last about a good minute. In the combat, you've been fighting the equivalent of 10 fights. Your entire body is burning and on fire.
I'm just gonna walk out of the ring and plop down on my back and just look up at the sky.
I rush over with the water.
I'm just gonna look up, take a water, and just pour it on myself.
All
Right on.
Start massaging her shoulders.
Don't touch me.
Okay.
All right, Dirty Dancing, go ahead with your bad self.
Get out of here.
Look,
I'm just hot.
that's what you say.
Mhm.
Last but not least, that leaves Tahlu and Celine. Which Celine stands there, and you see her kind of
I was muted again.
swing her arms around herself in a flourish, And as you can see, there seems to be an arcane symbol of a circle on the ground around her now. This seems to be slowly rotating in a light blue energy, as she seems to be waiting for you to engage.
Tahlu's gonna be very cautious, very I think when it comes to strategy, he's very much taking the approach like he feels that Suzaku would, versus instead of just going into attack, he's gonna test that circle.
All right.
He's not going in. He's not charging head in. He's gonna do things like fire crossbows, keep it ranged until he sees an opportunity to close it, and then use the serrated short sword is what the weapon he'll be using for the combat.
All right. So with that, roll initiative.
Is that with the check or without the check?
That's just regular initiative.
Oh, initiative is I rolled 19.
Nice. So with that, you gain the initiative. Now roll your check.
And I will take my advantage with this one.
All right.
It's going to be a 18.
Nice. So with that, as you seem to take your time, you notice that kind of like the opposite of Jorgi, this Celine's copy doesn't rush forward at all. And while she keeps pace of watching you and kind of keeping her focus on you in front of her, she doesn't leave the actual circle that's around her, which is about a 5-foot diameter around her. As she seems to hold her hands out, and you realize that through all your testing, Celine didn't take any type of offensive action towards you. You're like, the fuck? And you kind of get this idea like, wait a minute. And then you see Tahlu, who traditionally doesn't have the most, let's say, aggressive stance about things, rushes forward, firing both blasters, and you see that Celine seems to match those with one hand each, taking off one of the blasters. But as you do that, and her hands go up high to block those, both the shots you did were fairly high towards her head. So as she blocks both of them, you take out the sword and kind of stab forward through the barrier. And once you cross over the barrier, which you were able to physically walk through, you're able to take a strike at Celine, which she then fades away. To say that you're as shocked as everybody else that worked, you are.
Like, the thing is, he'd be shocked, but at the same time, it's more like he's pretty much kind of done with combat in general after what Jay's pulled.
Very understandable.
Yeah.
But with that, you see that all of a sudden, Sensei Yoshido steps back into view, and so do the rest of the students around you. And you notice now that everybody has different colors around them. Many are in green, some are in gold, and there are a few that are in red.
Can I peer around to see who has what?
Make a quick perception check, my good sir.
Yeah, I want to join in on that too.
Yeah, because I know
I know y'all looking to see everybody, so you know who got what.
All right,
I got
16
19.
plus 13 for a 29.
Yeah, so I got a 19.
Yeah, still doesn't care.
So what you two would easily send, you would easily note that all of the team leaders passed, including John. He got a green. He didn't get a gold, but he got a green.
Green works.
Right. Hey, look, D's get degrees, all right? He passed.
Wait, that's all it takes now is a D? What the hell?
Hey, look, a D gets you a degree in college. Hey, look.
Yes, it does. Yes,
Are
it
you
does.
fucking serious?
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Hey, look,
Holy
you can
shit.
become a whole ass doctor with a D- average.
Hey, I got a D+ in fucking English.
That's bullshit, man.
The
I remember
only
when-
grade that fails is an F. Now, a D isn't ideal.
But it
But-
still gets you your fucking money's worth.
Exactly. It passes the class. That's all. And John got the pass, which worked.
Like when they gave me the math class in the when I was in college. They're like, oh, you need to take college algebra. I'm like, okay, give me the final. They're like, we can do that. Gave me the final. I got a freaking A. I was like, all right, done.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to pay for that class. It's done. It's put on my freaking record. Give me another class.
In most places, they'll let you do that if you think that you could just pass it with the knowledge you have already.
It's called a CLEP test.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
CLEP test. I've taken, I think, 2 of them, and for both my math courses, and I passed them both.
I took
College algebra, and I got an A, and then I took, I think it was an advanced, what was it? Calculus, and I got like a C minus, but I still passed.
Counts.
I took understanding and interpreting English literature, and I made a 93.
Nope. Mm-mm. You count me out. I got to take that course.
Which was nice. So, looking around, I'll take it team by team because you can all see each other fairly easier. Next to you is, of course, to your left is Team Darkspell. You see Avarice has a gold, Adam has a gold, Anastasia has a gold, Kat has a green, Zayak is no longer... Didn't fully compete because, that happened.
Being dead and all.
Yep.
Right.
He was marked out. Get Kith, who was a part of it, isn't there. Yeah, Getting Red.
Yeah,
I was going to say they both got goals. I had to mark them down. I forgot the others I had marked out as not there, but I had them lower down. I was like, wait, no, he's there. He goes up here. That's fixed.
Yeah, I was about to say, Zazumix.
Get Kith got a gold. Rhett got a green.
Mm.
For Team Scorpion, Ty got a gold. Pate got a green. Moon got a green. Mushida and Lao Lin both got gold. Mm-hmm. For Team 4, Ava got a gold. Aldia got a gold. Actually, they all got gold.
That's Team, what is it, Angelic Glory.
Angelic Glory, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Angelic Glory is a motherfucker.
For Team 5, John got a green. Ruby got a gold. Pyrrha got a gold. Nora got a gold. Ren got a gold. Blake got a gold. And Yang got a gold. Just John got the green for their team.
Where's John? But at least he made it.
For Team 6, Team Nightmare, they all got green. Except Ignos, who got a gold.
Hey, a win's a win.
Hey, when you're a female half-orc, actually, she's a full female orc. She's not even a half-orc. And for Team Goliath, Kyle actually got a gold. The Chad got a green. James Baldwin got a gold. Richard and Robert both got greens. And then Karen got a gold.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to drag their freaking team to greatness one way or another.
Like, look, we're not finna fail. I'm not finna fail because of y'all. Fuck that. We're already the bottom feeding team. We're not finna be that bad, all right? All right. So with that, as everything concludes, Sensei Yoshido gives you all a bow. And then motions towards the exit, saying that you all may leave.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, I had left. Well, were we not able to leave before everybody was done?
Nope. I mean, you could have walked into the edge of the actual circle, which you just walked into it face first. But I mean,
I wouldn't have done that.
No.
That's why I said you didn't do it. I figured you'd been like, nah, I'm not going to walk into this shield.
I guess once everyone's done, I'm like, woo, we made it.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow.
As you're walking away, Ruin, you hear Adam yell out like, hey, who did you choose?
I'm going to turn right back toward Adam and go, Joe Sprada.
He's like, yeah. And he actually puts his hand up for a high five and says, so did I.
Nice.
Avarice destroyed her father.
Mm.
And then destroyed the ground where her father existed.
That sounds legit. So I'm like, yep, that sounds about right.
In martial combat?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Good get choose.
Because of their abilities, they can enhance their weapons with magic. That's still martial combat.
Yep. That's why Ruin's just like, yeah. He's just excited because Adam, not only did he meet the same criteria that Ruin did, he beat him too. He goes, how long did it take you to fight to beat him?
He was just a slower, weaker version of Sprada. It was actually really easy. Only took me about 4 or 5 strikes. But
Yeah, I
I've
would say
played with Sprada since I was a kid, so
yeah,
seeing
but
a
so you got a
slow
little
version of him
advantage.
was just weird.
Yeah, I know he was slow. Took me a minute because I didn't rage or anything, but I just wanted to try and match him pace for pace for at least his style.
I can understand that. It's like, wait, did you fight him with 2 swords?
Yeah,
And the look he
Yeah.
gives you is the same look like when somebody finds out that like Santa isn't real. Like, what? You like that shouldn't have. You shouldn't have been able to.
I point toward the rest of the team and go, they saw it. I was like, they saw me fight him, like, basically match blow for blow with him.
Yeah, it was
It's like,
impressive.
how slow he was moving and everything. I was like, well, it should be easier. And it kind of was. It just took me a little longer because I wasn't exerting full strength.
And you just see Adam just kind of just rubbing his head and walking off like, yeah, Ruin. That's just kind of walking back towards Avarice, who is bemoaning the chance that she didn't get the chance to have a rematch against her father.
Before he leaves, I want to ask who Get chose.
Get chose. He kind of looks and says, Get chose Jorgi. He went for the biggest person. Actually, wait. Actually, no, because for ours, who did? Let me double check. Looking through the list, he had because there's 6 of them. He's like, no, actually, he took on Xavier.
No. Xavier was, he was a pick for you guys? I was like, he wasn't for us.
They had more people, Ruin.
Oh, that's
They
right.
needed more teachers.
I forget about that.
Yep. Kat tried Celine and lost, and then Rhett tried Jorgi and got knocked out. But he's all right. He's fine.
Yeah, we're just going to pat Cat in the head. Like, good job, everyone.
Was this Jace harder than Jace's Jace? The other Jace?
No, not by far.
Okay.
Everyone probably looked toward Anastasia. Who did you pick?
She kind of winks at you and says, now, a lady never tells her secrets.
Word. I'll be right back.
And you hear Adam says she's picked Sprada. Well, she tried to pick Sprada until I took him. And then she moaned a little bit and complained, and then she took Kristoff and she did some type of thing to him where she like knocked his trident out of his hand.
That sounds pretty cool. What, like a disarming ability?
Wait, so who took on Jorgi on your all's team?
Rhett. To which you see Rhett is kind of holding his head, looks like he has a headache.
I'm gonna go over there and pat him on the shoulder.
It's like he is so big and so fast.
I know.
And I was like, oh, everybody else beat everybody else, so maybe they're not as strong. And then...
No, I'm gonna lean it a little closer. He's actually a little scarier when he rages than Ruin. I don't know why.
Oh, yeah, he does rage. You see him, like, smack his own head, like, I forgot about that.
He's still passed, though.
Yeah.
Overall.
We're good. And you hear Ty all of a sudden says, like, ooh, y'all didn't get all gold? Did Team Angelic Glory become the best team in school now?
How about say I look?
All of them just walk right past Ty, and he's like, huh? God damn it.
I must say, did all our team get gold?
You tried.
Oh,
Yeah, all
team
of our team got gold as well.
You did. I was just trying to amp up something that wasn't there because 6 of them got gold.
It's like, okay.
It's like, wait, because 2 of their people aren't here to take the test. Aren't those automatic fails? Shouldn't that count? Somebody should say that counts.
What? I want to say, wait, what? What do you mean?
It's like there's
I don't think it
technically
works
7
like
members
that.
on your team, and only 5 of you took the test. You don't take the test, that's an auto fail, right? Right?
Wait,
That's
when did we get 7 people?
Ruin, we've had 7 people.
Has
Artemis.
Naomi and Artemis, but the school already understands this.
I'm about to say, but I was like, they
Like,
left.
I don't feel like we will be punished for their absences.
You just see Tyra's like, this is that favoritism bullshit we be talking about. I'd say it's nepotism, but Avarice doesn't get any special treatment. So
I'm about to say,
it's favoritism. To which you realize the rest of his team has just continued to walk on without him, and kind of like looks around and realize they left. Like, well, it's nothing personal. You know that I like you guys. You're cool. I mean, I even think like Luna and Wanda are cute, but I'm just saying it's like a thing. Like,
They're probably going to get tested on their own.
Tahlu's gonna walk by like and just tell him, yes, because me having going up against the real Jace was favoritism, and he's gonna walk off.
ooh,
you hear people beginning to giggle and snicker, and him turn bright red, even though he has a light tan complexion.
like, say, even he turns red.
Come on, leave him alone. We got another test to study for.
Okay, all right.
I'm going to try and push Ruin along, but it's to no avail.
Ruin's like, what are you doing? Come here. Just pick up Sin. Start walking with him. Like, all right, well, I'll see y'all at supper time. And he'll wave off to Avarice. Bye, Avarice. Stasia, Adam, Zayek, Cat, Brett.
You just hear Avarice already talking about we're going to immediately begin to go study for the survival test. To which you hear all of our team just.
Hey, could I come with you guys?
You're asking Avarice?
Yeah, we haven't had the team hangout in a while.
Make a diplomacy check at disadvantage.
I'm about to say, at that point, even Ruin's gonna be like, I don't think that's a good idea. Cause I would say she's
I
focused
mean,
and
don't you
she's.
remember you also have talked shit and tried to challenge Avarice a few times in the past?
No, we still talking shit. It's who we are. You gotta take it personal too. Goddamn.
I mean, do you not know her family?
I would say, yeah, you kind of do. You're right.
I'm trying to mend bridges here, man.
I
You
understand.
shouldn't have burned them.
Nobody said it'd be easy, but if you think that the Caldera Sindel family isn't the type to hold grudges, I don't know what to tell you.
Right? Even Ruin's like, no, I don't think that's a good idea. We should just let her go because she looks like she's in the zone.
That'll be a 25.
Out of zone.
All right. With that, she kind of takes a moment and pause and looks at you. As long as you don't mess up my training or intervene, then you're more than welcome to come and observe only. And then she begins to still lecture her team as she walks away.
As Ruin's still carrying Sin, she's like, oh no, I don't like lectures. We don't have to go, do we?
He's going to look up. No. I mean, we can do our own studying. I don't.
Okay.
You guys are free to do your own thing. Wanda just wanted to do that alone.
Wanda, I applaud you for tackling the Sisyphusian task.
Because that's a really big word. That hurt my head.
I'll explain it later, Ruin.
There's too many letters in that. I'm not even going to try and pronounce it because there's a lot of syllables.
I appreciate you saying so, little comrade.
So where to? We go into the outskirts, the wilderness
I'm
itself,
hungry.
or are we going to go? Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. Well, then to the cafeteria.
You coming, Tahlu?
Tahlu's gone.
Yeah, let's say Tahlu already took off. Ruin said, like, hey, he's gone. He took off, like, right after the brief exchange with Ty.
Let's go find Tahlu and see if he wants to eat before we study.
All right. Ruin, take off.
Easily enough for you to do, to grab something to eat. Have a meal as you have the rest of this day to yourself. As you begin to notice, as you begin to walk back towards the actual school from the arena, the clouds have begun to roll in overhead and they are darkening rapidly. And just as you get into the building, you begin to feel those first drops of rain then by the time that you've all walked inside, it is pouring down outside. Like, even though it's
Gross.
roughly about maybe 1:30 at worst, it is completely almost pitch black outside and coming down with rain.
We should add survival in adverse conditions to the study docket as well.
Roy's just looking at. Almost reminds me of home. I miss the rain.
It never really rained at home.
I mean, it's in the mountains, but still, though, it just.
No, there's an
Actually,
enchantment, so
I
it
was gonna
stays
say-
mostly spring.
Yeah, for you, Sin, you've never actually seen rain other on the day when they've allowed rain in certain areas and when they've allowed snow in certain areas. But literally up until you left, it was always a temperate, balmy 72 degrees every day.
I could not live there.
Rowan's just like, at this point, Rowan's literally looking for a place to go sit and just look out at the rain and everything and study if he has to, but he wants to stare outside.
Yeah, I mean, the cafeteria has huge French windows all around that you can have. So you can easily eat and look at the rain all around you, and almost it's about almost a 180.
We can go do that.
Okay.
All right, is
We'll go.
everybody going to grab some grub?
I think Tahlu would actually go straight to the library.
All right, sounds good.
He'll probably just use rations.
Easy enough for you to do. Actually, I would say when you walk in there, you would actually make a slight reflex save.
A slight reflex save? I'm not trying to do that.
Go ahead, just make a normal one. It's a low DC.
3.
27.
All right, as somebody bumps into you, it's odd because you don't seem to have seen each other, but you both hear each other go, oh. And as you kind of like spin around and like curl yourself back to make sure that you're good, you see this other person kind of like flips forward. That's like a one-handed somersault and lands. And looks back at you and kind of see a Kitsune kind of give you a nod and all black, like with kind of blue tips on their fur, like, was that my fault or your fault? It's okay. Either way, it's fine.
Tahlu's gonna look at her very strangely, like, I don't think I've seen you before.
You see him kind of put his hands up in front of his face like, you didn't see anything. Ooh.
Tahlu's very much in the idea of like, yeah, there's too much action going on.
And as you're kind of making that noise out there, all of a sudden you hear the librarian, Kiru Braveheart, the huge Minotaur woman, say, Shigeru! And you see him jump like, gotta go, bye, cool.
Control,
and you just see him.
control person.
Control person? All right.
Or charm person, I think it's.
Charm person.
Wait, I have both of those. I have a hold person, don't I?
You do have whole person.
I'll use hold person.
All right. What is your DC?
Let me look.
Mm-hmm.
It's charm. I don't have. There it is. DC 15 will.
All right. He passes that and kind of looks at you like, you sneaky mother. And you hear Kiru kind of somebody that's like, what did you do? And you just see him go, ninja vanish, and just throw down something looks like a huge pile of smoke appears. And you just hear all of a sudden the librarian say, I promise you, Shigeru, I'm going to tell the headmaster. And even though you can just barely hear it, you can kind of hear a slight in the smoke like, damn.
Damn. Just straight damn.
I don't think. How long does the smoke stay up? I'm trying to see if I have anything for it.
I was going to say the smoke that's up stays up for roughly about a minute or so. And once it actually does leave, though, he is gone.
It's just. Is there? Who else is around?
For the moment, nobody that you can see. There's a couple of other first years you see in here studying that seemingly also had the idea that they need to study survival badly. But in general, it seems to be fairly empty. One thing you would notice, all the third years are here.
Oh, I thought they left.
Yeah, I thought they all had, like...
Yeah, I thought they all took off on the freaking Sky Sword.
They had.
Oh, they're already back? Dang.
Good night. So, yeah, I'm just gonna go do my, go about my business, go to do what I'm supposed to do. I'm just gonna study on survival, and judging by the rain, I'm gonna study on water survival.
Marshland.
All right. So easy enough for you to be able to do. Get your study on and try stuff out.
I think I would have suggested that to Sin after we finished eating, and I came back from my days of staring out into the rain. We'd probably go pick up some books for this, because unless you have books on this.
I might have a book or two, but probably not nearly enough.
No, we might want to go look for books or something.
Okay.
You know that place you like with all the books and whatnot. With the big lady.
Yeah. I can also ask Zachary for some help.
Yes, indeed. So with that, it's odd. You see all the third years sitting there at the table, like, all together, doing their thing. Chilling like villains, as one might say. But you're easily able to go in and find some books and stuff like that if that's what you're looking for on survival. Is there anything in particular that you're looking for?
Probably geared a little bit more towards
The wetlands or marshland type of survival.
that and a very heavy refresher on the basics and building shelter, because from the looks of it, it's going to continue to rain, and it's going to cause everything else to be more difficult. So having a better foundation in my head will help us. Because if we don't start off right, it's just the quickest recipe for disaster. Not our normal brand of disaster.
Yeah.
Advanced disaster.
Nice.
So advanced disasters are normal brand of disaster. What are you talking about?
The kind of disaster that the warranties don't cover.
Exactly.
There we go. That's the disaster that we're looking for.
Yeah, that's the kind of disaster we're looking to avoid.
You know, that warranty that says does not cover acts of God.
Yeah. At this point in time, I think all of our warranties start to include do not cover acts of Team Moonshadow.
I wonder what our life insurance looks like.
So you know you've made it when you have when you have a insurance policy named after you.
Right? Slap that on the side of every building. Does not cover damages by Team Moonshadow.
Yes. This is the Sky is Falling policy, which also includes coverage for accidental or intentional damage caused by Aegis Academy's #1 team at the current moment, Team Moonshadow. Whoa, hold on.
Wait, we're on an insurance policy?
Up to graduation.
Up till graduation.
Yeah, until graduation. From that point forward, you are responsible for suing the Moonshadow LLC of your own fruition.
Man, say we're gonna be in so much debt.
I did represent this.
Which means we got to save a couple more kingdoms before we end up getting that big.
We're gonna save more than kingdoms, man. We have to build our own kingdom.
Ratio's a bit of a liability.
That's fine.
Hey, look,
And say
it is
that
what
and
it
tax
is.
people for it.
Let's say, Ruin, can you handle back-to-back combat? Because that might have to be how our kingdom handles financial situation You have to challenge your chief executive for
Well,
financing the martial combat.
we'll
He
figure
doesn't
it
know
out.
numbers, but he knows how to split skulls.
Done. It's like I know how to take that 1 and turn it into a 2. Ah! Oh, you want 4? Then ha
Yeah, don't ask him for 6. You can't count that high.
Nope. I just gotta keep chopping until eventually I get to it.
It's all loose, fucked up head. Hey,
Oh,
Ruin,
God.
give us 7.
How did you get?
How do you? You know what? Screw it. Ah!
Now it's just mush.
I mean,
Can't
there's
count that.
that's 1. That's 2, 3, 3, 5, 7. There.
Oh boy,
Just throw the odd one out away.
that's the interest.
It's a 10.
All right. Well, I guess it begins studying.
It's good stuff. I'm all for it. Got your studying down? All right, so for your studying, y'all want to make y'all study checks? You just got to tell me what type of skill you want to use for the actual ability or skill. And if you're studying together, because that'll determine whether or not you get advantage of not trying to make this check.
I mean, like, can I use my survival check, or I have to use a freaking ability check?
You can use survival.
Okay, because I would like to use survival.
I don't.
I got a 23 and I'm using charisma since I'm studying with team 8.
All right.
Okay, since it's wait, since I'm studying with Sin, do I get advantage or no?
You do.
Okay, good, because I didn't want to do that. That was a horrible. That was a 4 plus 8. That's not enough. Okay, that's a lot. That is a 27. Yeah, 27.
All right.
Ooh.
That passes.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, because I don't think I'm going to be adding my footprint book to that, but I'll be using it to study.
I know what I would.
I guess I'm gonna just do overall intelligence because I don't have a way to use my flat charisma bonus, and my survival is the same. And I feel I have a better chance with just a raw intelligence.
Sounds good. Trying to think your way through it.
All right. All right, 14 plus 3 for a 17.
17. That gets you a pass also.
Yay. Because I
Okay.
know Ruin spent a bunch of time out in the wilderness for so many years before he came here.
I want to look for somebody who looks like they're reading a survival book as well, but don't look stressed out about it.
Make a perception check.
Probably one of the 3rd years.
All right.
I don't think they're studying what we're studying there. Tahlu.
Not the point.
Yeah.
Fine. I want to use to see if I can look like the most nature-like 3rd year.
Trying to find another druid.
15. You said perception.
Yep.
8.
That's like a whole Druid teammate.
22.
Right?
But you've been like ghosting us.
Also true.
You're also not in the library, so
All right. So what did you get total for your perception?
23.
As you start to walk up, you notice that they seem to be reading what looks to be like survival books. And as you get up to them, you start to realize that they don't seem to be really moving. And as you stand next to them, you kind of like put your hand on one of them, you realize that gold kind of pops for a minute. And you realize that all of these look a lot like the Kitsune that you saw out in the hallway. And as you touch them, they all seem to pop.
He made clones of himself.
Little bastard. In that case, I'm looking for anybody else who might be looking around, reading books on survival.
All right. So looking around, If you're looking for other people that you would recognize immediately, you see that there are other first years in here. I'd say probably the team you notice the most is Team Dragonfire is there, with John kind of like holding the book in Pyrrha, like explaining things out to him and like motioning him out how it works. As it looks like the majority of their team is trying to focus on helping John not fail.
The one that seems to be taking the lead on it, I want to use Assume Knowledge on them.
On Pyrrha? All right. What type of check is that for her? Is that a check for her? Pretty
Nope.
sure it's a check. Or is it just automatic if she's in range?
That's automatic if she's in range.
All right. You feel much more comfortable with your knowledge as her survival is a 10.
Ooh, yay. So I can do my check with that. That's going to be... Ooh, thank God I took that one. It's going to be a 19.
Oh, with the plus 10, dang.
A 19 passes.
And this knowledge actually lasts me 24 hours.
It does.
Nice.
Sweet.
All right, so let me see, marking down who passed a thing. All right, so far on this one, Tahlu gets a reroll. Boom. Ruin got a pass, so he gets a reroll. Sin, you can make your roll if you want to now.
I did. I did a 14 plus 3 for a 17 total on an intelligence check.
I remember that you did pass with your intelligence check. Wanda is the only one who's left to do one because Luna said she wasn't.
I thought Wanda said she got a 27.
I did, yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear that at all. Gotta speak
Yeah,
up.
she was the first one to throw it out.
Ah, see, I wasn't paying no attention. I ain't hear that at all.
It was a while.
All right.
But I think reason why Wanda said it so early on is because they were studying with Everest's team, which is God knows where.
Yeah, exactly.
That's quite hilarious. All right, so all those are knocked out. Everybody's got their one reroll except for Luna. All right. With that being said, all of a sudden, Sin, while you guys are still studying, I'm assuming watching the massive downpour in the cafeteria, as you do see some other teams in here studying, like Team Darkspell is here eating as Avarice is literally using other people's food to create what looks to be some type of recreation of different situations as people are trying to eat their food before she can get to it.
At that point, I'm like, I was like, do we have anything? Can we just bring her like random stuff so she could do that so they could eat?
I mean, ideally, there's a lot of extra food out here, which is easy enough, but for some reason, she keeps using the food on their plate, which they just seem to all be looking what this look like. We just gonna let her get this out her system.
Yeah.
At that point, Rose was like, did you want me to get you another one of those?
All right. She seems to be in the zone now and is in full-on rant mode.
You know what? Never mind. I'm gonna hang out over here.
Nope. My sisters have been like that before. You interrupt them, you're liable to get bit.
Yep, that's why I was like, nope. Wait till that's over.
All right. And I'll say, Sin, while you're there, you suddenly, all of a sudden, get a ring on your card as it's going off.
I'm gonna pull it out and look at it.
It shows it's from Luna.
I'm gonna answer it.
All right.
Hi, Luna, what's up?
Sin answers the card.
There's a portal.
The whole time you just hear.
Do I even hear anything that she's trying to say?
You can hear her, but you hear that sound loudly in the background.
All right.
Nothing too big, just a portal in our room sucking everything up.
What? Ruin now.
And a portal popped up, I say, just sitting back, looking at it. Also, I did throw a rope at it to see what happens, and if it's like super strong, like I'm gonna hold on to one end.
I was gonna say, do you hold on to the rope?
Yes.
Make a strength check.
It's a 22.
You are holding on to the rope, but it is pulling you forward.
I am outside though, right? So I can like hold on to the walls, like I can like I'm almost climbing up it, but not really.
I mean, you have a strong grip on it, but the pull is slowly pulling you in. Like, you realize as it's been sitting here, it seems to have been gotten stronger from when you were here before. And now all the beds in the room have been pulled in and tables, and it seems to be pulling now consistently.
Okay.
Ruin packed most of his gear. It kind of sucks.
His alcohol's gone.
Yeah, I'm immediately going to shout for Wanda as well, saying we have a problem. I'm going to thank Luna, hang up, and immediately hit the hotline for Celine and start bolting to my room.
It's like, oh, we got a problem. Never always got to be us. Can't ever be some other team.
I'm glad I went to the library.
From what you can see, as you all begin to immediately bolt up after you yelled, "What?" The other teams like all looked up like they heard a whistle call. And as you bolt out, the other teams immediately that are there are running after you. Like, whatever's going on, like, we need to see what's about to happen.
Yep.
That makes sense.
It's always us. Why is it always us?
I don't know, man. Shit just popped up. I didn't do anything. I wasn't reading a book or anything.
7 other teams, but this
We don't know people who want to kill us or anything like that. Nothing like that.
Do I get Celine?
As you call Celine, there is no answer from Celine, actually.
All
right, Jace.
Jace, somebody.
As you go to call Jace, you realize there is no answer from Jace either.
All right, Sprata.
Go to call Sprata, there's no answer from Sprata either.
Jorgie.
Yeah, I'll go for Jorgie next.
All right, you call Jorgie, and after a couple of rings, he picks up. He's like, "Huh? What?" And you can see that he seems to have like trees around him, and then he like suddenly like covers the car. He's like, "Huh? What? You didn't see anything? Huh? What's going on?"
There's a portal in our bedroom sucking everything up, and I can't get the headmaster, my master of the arcane, I can't get Jace. We have a magical emergency back here, and there are no teachers magically inclined on speed dial that can solve it.
What? How? Wait, in the school? How did?
Yes!
In the school, apparently in our room. Ruin's just yelling.
You see him kind of debrief, like, how don't...
Ask Kristoff. At that point, Ruin's be like, ask Kristoff. See if he can send a message to somebody else. More knowledgeable. I don't know who else knows magical stuff here.
The other magically inclined teacher got fired because she tried doing experiments with Tahlu.
Wait, the other good one. As I reach out and
I thought she was a musician.
It doesn't matter. She knows magic. Probably.
You hear him yell. He's like, "I'm not even anywhere near the cat." Call Kristoff. Let him know. He and the guards can do something. Don't touch.
I'll hang up immediately and then call Kristoff.
Have I made it to the room yet?
I would say you are getting to the room. As you're getting to the room, you can hear, as you like go to grab the door, you can feel like it vibrating slightly. Also, Luna, did you hold on to the rope?
No, I eventually let it go, but part of me wants to go in.
The
I want to go
rope
in.
got sucked up and slurped like a noodle. Just.
That's awesome. I want to go in.
You really gonna you
Well, she's gone in. Well, nothing we can do about it.
I just want to. I'm fighting my desire to.
Oh. I was going to say, well, she done gone in. Oh, well. Gotta figure out a new problem.
Roll new character.
I'm fighting my desire to.
And with that, as you go to grab the door, do you open it, Ruin?
At this point, if I feel it vibrating, Ruin's going to be like, hey, there's something pulling at this door. Do you want me to open it? Because if I open it, there's probably, like how she said, if there's things getting sucked in, as soon as I open this, everything's going to be a vortex in here.
And
Can I try?
You hear from behind you somebody yell, "Open it!"
Everyone opens the door.
All right, who is all near Ruin near the front of the door?
Me.
I'm going to grab Sin as soon as I open the door and swing him back, just in case.
All right, I'm going to need you to make a reflex save. Actually, I'm going to need you to make two. One to grab Sin, and another to not get pulled into the room.
Okay, so what's the first one? It's just
They're both reflexes.
Okay, so that first one is 24.
Good.
To grab Sin?
You're able to grab Sin, who's standing there, kind of with looking like,
Damn,
Somebody shouted, "Open it," before I could say no.
And a 25 to open the door. After I open the door, I guess. So 24 and 25.
So you get the door opened up, and as you do, you kind of brace yourself, kind of holding back at the door, and immediately you begin to feel the vortex pull in towards you. As you can see, your entire room and your beds, the bunks in front of them, and the tables have all been sucked in.
No!
I do a knowledge arcana or a spellcraft to try and figure out what the heck's going on.
You can do a knowledge arcana. Actually, I would say do a knowledge planes.
Yeah,
I have knowledge planes. So it's just a 10 most likely.
At best, if that's all you can get.
Yeah, with no knowledge planes, it's a 13 on the die plus int of 3, but capped at 10.
All right.
They go, I need somebody who knows more about these things than Sin.
Then the best that you can get about it is that it seems to be some type of arcane portal. You're not sure where it goes to or what, just that it's there, and from what you can see, it seems to have a very strong pull as it pulled apparently everything in the room towards it and into it. As you can see on the other side, actually no, you wouldn't be able to see her because you can't see through it. I would say you would hear, Luna, the other people yelling on the other side of the door now.
I rolled a 19 for my planes.
You would realize with the bonus you would get because you were there when this happened, you would realize that this seems to be an extraplanar portal.
I would like to try to dispel magic.
You're going to try to cast a spell magic on it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to call them and tell... You don't know what it is. I'm going to call them and tell them what it is. And then...
We're right at the other side. We're like literally outside the door.
Yeah,
Hey,
I'd
just
say
shout it.
ideally you guys are roughly no more than about 20 feet apart, but I'd say you're closer to about 30 feet apart, but you can't really hear each other over the sound of the portal that is...
Yeah, that's why I'm calling. That's why I'm calling. I'm going to call them and tell it what it is, and then we should all try to dispel it at the same time.
Ron's just going to tell Sin, hey, did you call Kristoff yet?
Did.
All right, with that being said, Kristoff is picking up the phone. Luna, I'm sorry, not Luna, Wanda, you said you're making the spell check. Cast a spell, make a spellcaster check.
I shall. Ooh. Nat 20 plus my spellcaster, which is 8, correct?
Your spellcaster modifier.
Because that's basically my spellcaster level. Eldrich Knight counts for that, right?
Yeah, your spellcaster level. And
That'll actually
Eldritch Knight counts for that also.
That'll actually be... Wait, what also counts for that?
Eldritch Knight.
Knight.
Yeah. Okay, so that'll be a 29 total.
I don't have to.
Let me double check that.
Okay. Hopefully, it doesn't blow up in our face.
Right?
Let us hope.
What the fuck did you do, Luna?
Eat a dick.
I like how that's the go-to at everything. So let me see. Spell magic and ongoing spells cast by card. I targeted this spell. So from the level it is.
And that hurt my feelings.
I will say this: when you actually cast it out, you feel the spell fighting actively against you, and I would say that Ruin, you can sense that all of a sudden the suction pull has lessened. Even though it's there, it's enough now where you're not like in fear of somebody being yanked from the doorway through. But if you went into the room, you'd be like, I don't know if it would pull me in if I went into the room.
Okay, so at that point, like Ruin's gonna call back. If anyone else knows how to dispel portals, you can go ahead and walk up. I'll make sure you don't get sucked in through it.
But I would say, looking at that from what you can see, Wanda, you are straining with all of your strength and might, and it almost physically begins to hurt as you are fighting against this spell.
Is there a chance for me to roll? I have at least studied transplanar magic with the planar shift scroll Master Celine gave me. Is there any way I could think of something with that?
I would say make an intelligence check to see if something comes to mind for you.
All right. 12 plus 3 for 15.
Mm-hmm. You're not entirely sure of how or where this thing came from exactly, but seeing that Luna's worried about it and Wanda was able to somehow use her magic to affect it, you believe that you might be able to, individually, none of you probably are strong enough to do anything about it, but if you were to pull your abilities together, you think you might be able to have a chance at forcing this thing closed.
The three of us, as in Wanda, Luna, and myself?
As many people as you can get.
Can I look back into the hallway and see who is...
Yeah, because I know Ruin's called out a bunch of times to the people in the hallway.
You did, but a lot of people are hearing you rant and rave over the sound of the huge vortex that's been opened now.
It's like, Sin, go gather people in. Like, Ruin,
which said, even you next to Ruin, the last thing that you're really hearing is, it sounds like trying to talk to somebody with a vacuum going on right beside you. It's like, you know there are words coming out. You can kind of get the idea of what they mean, but you can't say that you ever heard it clearly at all.
Ruin's just going to be pointing toward other people. And
but I at least know I need help.
Definitely.
Yes.
You can easily see that you don't know if you'd be able to have enough to do it, but you know the more the merrier. And you see Avarice is walking towards you all looking like, the fuck did you all do?
Ruin's just throwing his hand up there like, I got no clue.
Yeah. I'm just going to kind of bolt over there and say, there's a portal in our room. We need extra power to shut it down. Who's coming?
Can I hear him through the call?
Ideally, if you moved away from the door, Sin, you'd be able to hear a little bit of what he's saying. But technically, he's already on the call trying to call. He's already in the middle of a call, so his card doesn't pick up for you, Luna. As Christoph has actually picked up for you, Sin, but he's been talking and you haven't heard him because you've been trying to get all these different things that are coming at you at once.
Yeah. Then I'm going to do a quick rundown for Jorgi and for everyone in the hallway, and basically explain that Wanda's restraining it for now, but we need extra help to finish actually shutting it down. So we need extra magical power behind everything we're going to throw at this thing in our room.
All right. Luna, you were saying?
Yes, I would have called somebody else then.
Okay. Who do you call?
Ghostbusters. Hold on.
Both of you fail.
Not done.
What you got?
Tahlu. Is Tahlu there? I'm going to call Tahlu.
All right. Tahlu, while in the library, you hear your card going off.
I'm going to finish my paragraph before I answer it.
All right. So it rings about 5 or 6 times, and then you hear Tahlu pick up.
You need to come here now. I think we need help. and maybe you should get help from other people in the library, magical people specifically. There's a portal in our room sucking everything up.
How much of that did I hear?
I would say you heard, come here now, magic people, portal, our room.
That ain't gonna be good. Tahlu's idea is like, you want me to magically portal to our room with a bunch of magic people?
I want you to come here with magic people to dispel a portal. I say it really loudly. I'm like screaming in the card.
You kind of get that one a bit clearly, though it does sound like there's something loud behind her, and you're like, what the hell is going on? Like, it's like somebody calling you at a concert, and you're like, the fuck is, why?
And then I would look at other people who around me just to make sure they heard what I was saying. You know what I mean?
I mean, the only person really be around you would be me at the door and Wanda at the door.
I mean, since I'm outside, I'm sure there are some people outside, even if it's raining, right? Or like a window that's
I
open.
thought you were in the room.
No, she's outside in the courtyard on the other side of the window, but you can't see her at all.
Yeah, I would not be in that room. Yeah, I know at least that much.
Yeah, the portal's about 15 feet across now, but it's not growing anymore.
With how loud I was screaming, I'm sure somebody else heard me. You know what I mean?
I mean, to a degree, but it's midterms. Third years are gone. The second year's already got to take off. The first years are all on the other side of things. People kind of had other shit to do.
I'm just gonna look around at the people around me. How many people are magic users around me?
I'd say from what you can see there, from Team Dragonfire, some of them are magic users. From what you can tell, you know for sure that, you've seen Blake do a bit of magic, Ren do a bit of magic. He did well in his magic test from what you can remember, or he scored well. The rest are fairly not real magic users. And Team 6 is there. You don't know much about Team 6. They really stick to themselves. They just always seem to be okay, but you'd imagine one of them might be a magic user.
Who are Team 6 again?
Team 6 is Team Nightmare. They're the team made up of all non-humans also.
The only magic user that they had is now gone.
So Tahlu's just gonna like slowly close the book, like, oh, here we go. Put the book away, find the spot where it went, and put it back. And then just be like, clears the way. If anybody would like to see some of the bullshit we get up to, there's currently a portal in our room, and we would require assistance from magic users to help close it.
John immediately jumps up and volunteers his team to come help. And begins to run towards you as Pierce says, John. And he's like, we have to be able to help our fellow students. This is way more important than studying. Let's go, friend. And he like looks at you with like pleading eyes like, help me. Help me.
So basically this is him wanting to see the bullshit we get up to.
Willing to go see the bullshit versus actually staying there. Like, you don't even need to insight check this. The sense motive is so clear that he's willing to do damn near anything to not have to do this studying, which seems to be painful for him.
So how many people seem interested?
I mean, his team kind of just give a nod, and Ruby kind of gives a look and stands up. And you see the rest of them all stand up to come help. But you hear the librarian says, silence in the library!
God damn.
Tahlu's actually like visibly upset that people volunteered. He's like, fuck, now I gotta go.
You dick.
He's like, alright, follow me then. Shit.
To which you see they begin to run towards that way.
They run. Tahlu's walking.
Oh yeah, they run back towards the rooms. Team 6, you notice, kind of looks. You notice that they've got up and started walking behind you, but they're walking behind you.
There you go. They're moving
It's
it.
fine with me. I understand it.
Outside in the hallway with Yusin, you see that Avarice is starting to yell out commands. She calls out for Anastasia, Mushida, Lao Lin, Ava, and Ahiri, and Aldia. And then she yells at Karen to all come over there. And she says, "Key your power on me. On 3." And she stands outside of the door, and you see all of them kind of fan out behind Wanda. Which, Wanda, just for the record, make a fortitude save for me at disadvantage. Actually, I'm sorry, a will save at disadvantage.
You know what? Okay, bring it. Bring me the smoke, man.
That one.
Wait, what?
That's pretty crazy. I got 2 19s in a row.
What's that total?
7, 26. 26.
What plus what?
19 plus 7. 26.
All right. You're holding, but you can feel your grip on the dispel starting to fade, as you can feel the spell is more powerful than you are.
I guess I will key up behind Avarice as well. Ready?
And then you just hear her say, 3, and raise her hands up with a magical burst, and you see everybody else just all, ha! And they are going to attempt to blast us out. If you be ever so kind, eeny, meeny, miny, who should roll this? I'll say that Luna, since you're on the other side of this, you roll a D100 for me.
Ooh.
Do I have to roll anything because I've keyed up to help them as well?
I would say you can roll a D1, a D20, and if you would, add your spellcasting modifier to it.
Okay.
18 plus 5 for a 23.
It's a 93.
Ooh. All right, so you got a 23.
No, I'm barely holding on, though.
You are.
It was that hard. I just lucked out that time, bro.
So 93 is the DC that all the spellcasters need to meet.
What?
That's what you rolled, right?
What? Yes.
You mean collectively, yes?
Collectively, yes. Not as individuals, no.
That is what I rolled. Are you saying I got it right on the dot, my dude?
No, you set the difficulty.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
you
set the
set the
difficulty DC at 93 is the total DC.
Oh my god. Oh, that's so beautiful. Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Beautiful crap.
And I think Finn's already got that 23 on it, so now it should be like
So it's
That's
up to 6 people to get at least 10 apiece, because that's 70 remaining between Avarice and the other 5 people she collected.
Yeah, my reinforcements haven't got there.
They have not.
Hey, shenanigans.
From what you can see, though, there is a massive burst of energy. Luna, if you'd be ever so kind as to make a reflex save. As you say, there's this huge, especially for you, Ron, which is something that's odd for you. You see that you can notice that Sin is starting to smoke, but while you're not seeing it because you're holding the door and kind of making sure nobody gets pulled in, all of your feathers seem to almost stand on end, and even the feathers in your head kind of like stand up, almost like a huge tail. Is almost as if you were riling yourself up or feathering yourself up. As you don't see it, but you can feel the magical energy that's being shot past you.
That's 18.
What you got, Luna?
18.
18 total.
Yes. I don't like that.
With a huge magical burst, you feel all of you basically the equivalent of shoving your magical fist down the throat of this thing to try to siphon it off and choke it out. And then it winks out, but when it does a huge vacuum pull in of a bit, which, Ruin, you made sure nobody else is too close to it. Luna, with you being outside the window, it pulls you in through the window and you land face first on the ground inside the room. It's empty now.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
It's just boom, blast goes through, Ruin immediately throws his arm out, make sure nobody goes past him.
Also, for the record, Luna, that book is gone too.
What?
Where do you think the power came from?
Oh shit. Well, shit happens, man. Yeah.
I'm going to like take a seat and take a breather, bro.
Yeah.
At this point, everyone's just gonna look like, what the hell was that?
Wanda, you already a little tired from the whole exercise earlier. That was physically tired. Now you're mentally exhausted also. So you actually have a level of exhaustion. But well done. Had you not started immediately trying to hold it, it might have expanded out in other rooms and got too big.
Yeah. I figured that was definitely the time to. Like, some lines need to be held if it kills you.
Look, don't feel too bad. I actually doubled the DC from what was rolled, so it was actually 186, but they made it.
Jesus.
I'm gonna give these books up.
Yeah. You wanted to sell this shit?
Yes. Yes, I did. I still did. If even if I knew it was from this and it survived, I'd still be like, yeah, I'm gonna sell it.
Yeah, because I know Ruin immediately is asking, what the hell's going on? What the hell was that?
You hear out in the hallway like people cheering and all that, like, yeah, we did it, yeah. And as you see, Avarice is one of the few that's not actually cheering, along with Anakova, who's kind of like staring. And while you're like resting, she kind of comes over and checks on you, Wanda, and asks if you're okay.
I'm going to say, if it's possible, I'm still probably going to be very miffed and still probably smoking.
Oh, you're still smoking by far. You haven't stopped at all, which actually some people are starting to notice now, and they're like, oh. But Sin, you're full on smoking like this was an entire hot box. Like, the smoke is coming off you like steam on someone's skin who just worked out in the winter.
Ooh, and they're bald.
And,
they're bald.
Coming down the hall, oh yeah, and they're bald. But coming down the hallway, you can see now that Team Dragonfire is just coming up. Like, we're here to help. What's the problem? Down the hallway, a ways away, is Tahlu along with Team 6 behind them.
Damn.
Not even in a rush.
No, but Tahlu, you'd see a huge hallway full of all your fellow classmates.
Tahlu's first thought is, why the fuck do I need to bring more people?
At that point, Ruin's just like, thank you. It seems to be quelled.
All right, John, back to studying.
And you just hear Pyrrha says, yes, John, let's go back to studying. It's like, oh, why?
While this is happening, I'm going to try to fly out.
What happened?
You're gonna try to what? Yeah, let's say Ruin's questioning. He's like, oh, no. What the hell was that? You don't get to go anywhere just yet.
Hold on. Can I leave?
I mean, if you want to try to run for it, what I will say is, how would you try to leave, as you are the only thing in the room and Ruin's already asked you a question and Sin is staring at you. You can see that Sin, Ruin, Wanda's a little out of it, and Akova's kind of looking up, and Avarice are looking at you.
Okay, that feels a little worse. Okay.
Mother.
Cat got him.
Yes, see how that cat comes and scratches me again? I'm cutting his werewolves off. Personally.
I would also say that you now also begin to hear what sounds like a large amount of armored troops that are running down the hallway behind Team 6 in Tahlu, as Kristoff is here with a full phalanx of 20 soldiers.
Actually, Tahlu's gone. He went back with the other team to study at the library.
Oh, I meant like before you guys even got out of the hallway, they were coming down the hallway.
He's just gonna point to the room like, I don't know what happened, ask them, and he's gone.
Which they let you pass, and Kristoff comes up to Sin, and with the 20 soldiers standing at attention behind him, looks into what happened.
There is no hiding the anger in my voice, but I'm at least trying to hold it together and go, yes, Luna, please explain. What did we just stop?
To which you see Kristoff look towards you and then look back out at all the other students. He says, all of you are dismissed. If you are not Team Moonshadow, leave now. And you see like some look like they're going to say something like Avarice. And they all just slowly back out as Kristoff walks into the room and the other soldiers begin to move along and shuffle them along.
I was reading a book that happened to have a portal.
Book? Are you talking about the same damn books that we got from underneath? Or that we found?
I think we're talking about the same books.
You were supposed to turn those in when we got here.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, that's it? Just Can't believe this shit. Ruin's literally walking right out.
With Kristoff is like, so what exactly is going on here, Luna?
I mean,
as he kind of looks around the room and realizes that everything you guys had in this entire room, which he knows was furnished, is gone.
I was reading a book that had a portal connected to it.
What was the title of the book?
Oh yeah, I remember. Planeswalkers.
He kind of looks at you. You were reading a book about planeswalkers.
I just thought in my head.
Where did you happen to acquire this book?
I'm gonna look at to see who's here.
Actually, make a bluff check, because the book wasn't called Planeswalkers.
Yes, it was.
Nope.
Number 6? Number 6 was Planeswalkers. Hold on.
No, that's what it was in it. That's not what it was called.
Hold on. Well, can I at least see it? Can I at least not do a bluff check and correct myself? You know what I mean?
You can. I mean, you're not totally lying about it. It just wasn't the full truth. You want to do, say, a history check. Or I'd say it's more of a memory thing. You can make a wisdom check. See if you can remember accurately.
Wait, instead of looking at my notes?
I mean, that could also count. If you're looking it up, it was called Swindlers of Power.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. I was literally right at the list. Swindlers of Power. Yeah. Before I say that, I'm going to look to see who's here.
Right now, it's just the remaining members of Team Moonshadow and Kristoff.
Yeah. Let's say, because Ruin walked out. He's
with
done.
Ruin, who's also left.
Yeah. That one.
And he kind of takes a deep breath. Where did you get this book from?
Goodwin's office at the, where was it? What is it called? The
Sindal Citadel?
Yes, the Sindal Citadel.
Which he kind of takes a moment and thinks about. It's like, so this is from Vanessa Goodwin.
I know in my head.
That's the same one that was responsible for all of this other stuff that happened, including the whole explosion.
Explosion?
When your
Yes.
teammate was goaded into murdering people.
Wait, I don't remember. What are you talking about?
When
Yes, it's
Tahlu's
the same
gauntlet
professor.
blasted the entire portal.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Wow.
Yes. I don't know why he's trying to make that connection as if I'm that kind of person. I was just reading a book. I didn't intentionally tell somebody to like light shit up, you know what I mean?
Hey,
Not the same thing.
as someone who's been here before, just save your breath, bro.
I'm just saying it's not the same
doesn't-
thing. It's not the same thing.
They don't
It's
care.
not the same.
They don't care.
It's not the same.
All right.
Thank you. Yes. That good one.
And you didn't think this was a dangerous thing to be messing around from somebody like her.
Good.
I'm in trouble. Can you please? You're distracting me. Yeah. No, I didn't think it was like this.
Do you have any other books?
I do.
Give them to me.
All my monies.
No.
All my monies. Okay. Oh shit! No. You know what? Okay, I'm gonna give it up. I'll give him all the books that I have left.
And as he says for the last one, and where was the last book?
I'm assuming it was destroyed with the thingy.
Kind of takes a deep breath. For now, Team Moonshadow, and kind of looks at Sin. Confine your team to your room. You have your test tomorrow that you can go to. I'll speak to the headmaster. Some of the others are off the grounds, but I will go and see about reaching out to them where they are.
I'm just going to dimension door back to outside the library, walk in. Tahlu, go to the room, now.
So I was gonna look at him. Why?
We're under orders.
To which here John says, "Should we go back to the room? We can not go back to the
Study.
room."
I'm just going to snap to him, still angry, and just say, study.
So I was gonna look at Sin. He's not yours to command, Sin.
You see him just kind of like whoop back down, and you see Pierce says, "See, he's the leader of the top team, and he's gonna do the right thing." Just milking the moment. To which he just looks his head back down in the book.
So I was just gonna look at Sin like, I'll be there in a minute.
Don't blame me if Kristoff comes and finds you. I'm going to walk out, and then I'm going to basically... Probably the most logical place I could find Ruin is in the cafeteria or out near the forge, so I'm going to start with the cafeteria.
No, Ruin would have gone to the training ground. He's literally just busting up a dummy at this present point in time.
Well, that'll probably be my third location.
Yeah, I'd say after time and trial and error, you would find him.
Ruin.
I don't know. Let's see if I can actually hear him, because Ruin has gone into a rage. Nope. I will not be able to hear Sin.
He's got earmuffs on.
Basically.
Yeah, the only thing he hears is his heartbeat. He's just wailing away at this damn dummy, just ripping it to shreds.
Throw a pebble at him.
I'll actually use telekinesis and pick up a couple other dummies and kind of bump them into him.
Immediately just attacking them. Not even breaking a sweat.
Ruin thinks he's getting help training.
Well, I'll let him burn out his rage. That shouldn't take too much longer.
Yeah, I'd say if you wait it out, it takes a couple of minutes, but it gets there.
I'd say I think my telekinesis lasts for a good 10 minutes.
Oh yeah,
Say-
telekinesis lasts way longer than his rage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make a dummy, you do a backflip.
Yep.
Say if the dummies are still in one piece.
I can grab up to 375 pounds of dummies, or 10 dummies. I'm fairly certain that you could tear apart most of them, but not 11 dummies.
I don't know. I'm using both weapons. I probably could.
Alright, well once you're done, I'll just kind of let them drop to the ground. You coming? Or more accurately, follow me?
Ruin won't say anything. He's just going to follow Sin.
Then I'm just going to lead both of us back.
Alright. As you get back, you see that there are guards posted back outside your room. There's a squad of 10. They give a salute as Sin walks past.
I'm probably miffed enough that I'm not going to respond. I'm just going to open the door and let Ruin in first.
We're going to head in and head over to the corner where his bed used to be.
Yeah. Oh, we got no beds to sleep on.
We got nothing in here.
Yeah, other than the small bathroom that y'all have to prepare in, it's just an empty space.
Great.
Which, after about 2 hours or so, you see that things are brought back into the room. You see that there's another squad that seems to be bringing in new beds, setting up some tables, and kind of setting things up for you.
Oh, yeah.
Do I get the big chair again, or do I get one of them little flimsy ones?
You got a little flimsy one.
Okay, because good, it's gonna be smashed.
Fucking poor beds, man.
Crash onto my bed, my new bed, as soon as I put the mattress down.
Smells like dust and mothballs.
Ugh.
So Ruin's chair is now destroyed, been set asunder.
So your chair is right back up again.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And to Ruin, that's fixed.
Is there any chance to get a little bit of studying done for some of the rerolls?
I would say that you can still decide to study if you want to together, or try to recall what you have to study. You still have that capacity to do that.
I could have swore we did all the rolls for it already.
I think we did.
I was going to say, if you want to go back over the things you did, but you already did all your studying rolls.
At this point, Ruin's not. He does not want to interact with anybody.
Yeah, at this point in time, Sin is kind of content just sitting there in absolute silence.
How long before Tahlu actually makes it back?
I would say if you finish up what you're doing and being respectful, you'd make it back in 20 minutes.
He's gonna sit outside the door.
Which all the guards are kind of sitting there, and they seem to be at very much attention and not acknowledging you. Though you'd be there before the beds come back, which is when they'd be coming back in.
So yeah, then the team would just see him sitting outside the door.
But you can be sitting outside the door. So you'll be the first one to see as Kristoff is walking back down the hallway.
Oh, here comes trouble.
To which, when he sees you outside the door, he just stops and says, "Why are you not in the room?"
I'm still under guard. I've done nothing. I did nothing wrong to be punished.
I didn't say this was a punishment. I said for your team to be in the room. Into the room.
So I was gonna chuck away, right? Because that's where the safest place is, with the large portal. As he walks into the room.
Which is you all sit there. He comes in and closes the door behind him. The beds have gotten back here. They were in storage and they probably won't smell good, but you can make them your own. Kind of looks down at the broken chair. I'm going to assume that was somebody working out their feelings and not just aimlessly destroying Aegis Academy property. Again.
No, that Ruin is just going to go, nope, that was me being very angry.
And he just turns and looks at you and says, "And I expect you to learn to control yourself. We don't have things here at Aegis Academy that are just for people to break when they're feeling upset. If you can't manage your feelings, then you need to speak with the counselor and therapist. And if they get out of control, then maybe Aegis Academy is not the place for you." I understand that all of you have a test with my brother tomorrow. It's a survival test. I would suggest that you rest well for that survival test. I suggest that you all have a very early night to get as much rest as possible.
With who?
With his brother Jorgie.
Jorgie, okay. Also, can I at least check on Margot in the morning?
He'll look at you. And you see him stop and motion to one of the guards outside who comes in. Would you make sure that the familiars for Team Moonshadow are cared for? Let the professor know that they need to be looked after. There was an incident. And the soldier kind of does a nod and takes off.
I'll just nod my head and start to lay down.
Any gear that you've lost will be replaced as much as possible. So backpacks, bedrolls, and things that weren't on your person can be replaced. If you have a list of that, make it. There are papers being brought into you now. Have the list compiled. Give it to the soldiers outside the door. Sid, I'll leave that responsibility with you.
I'm just going to nod without saying a word.
Rowan's going to write his keg of gunpowder.
Ooh, now he can dry gunpowder.
Thanks.
The headmaster has been informed, but he is in the middle of something that is far more important at this time. He said that he will attempt to return to speak with you all tomorrow morning. So until that time, I wish for you to stay here in your room to not only mitigate whatever foolishness might occur from the aftermath of what happened, but, and most importantly, to make sure that you are all safe until the headmaster decides that you should be released. Are there any questions?
Rowan's going to raise his hand and go, what if I don't want to be in this room with a specific teammate?
It sounds like it's a good chance for you to practice patience and controlling yourself.
Rowan will nod his head and start. I guess he'll just mull about after that.
I've already fallen asleep and I'm starting to snore really loudly.
That's accurate.
I understand that Team Moonshadow, you may be used to having certain liberties, but I am not one for those who cannot follow the rules and endanger others. You'll find that I am much the opposite of my brother.
I don't like it whenever people are put in danger because of ourselves and foolishness when we couldn't follow simple orders to begin with.
That's very true.
At this point, Ruin's looking directly where his anger is toward, or at least the person.
Am I asleep right now?
Yeah, you said you were asleep. You could have easily fell asleep in all of this.
Okay, cool.
Any of your concerns that you have, save those for the headmaster tomorrow. In the meantime, I expect you to manage yourselves like Aegis Academy students. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Tahlu's not even saying things. He's just gonna wave his hand.
And with that, you see him turn on the spot and march out, and the doors close behind him.
This is the night you could pick up hazing as a tradition.
Yeah, I guess. I feel like everything we've done since we got here has kind of been getting hazed, but I mean, I can't imagine any level of hazing that could top this shit. You know.
All righty. So with that, is there anything that anyone is doing right before they decide to go to bed?
Just reading whatever book I ended up checking out.
Yeah, all I'm doing is finishing my list of the stuff that was there, like my father's sword, my father's tool set he gave me.
Can I order some blood packs or something? We have room service.
Of course, my 10-gallon keg of gunpowder, and then, of course, my bottle of fine gunpowder.
Mm-hmm.
As well as my a bunch of ingots of ore that I had left. Because I didn't want to carry all that weight around.
Makes a lot of sense.
And Tahlu's habit, one of Tahlu's oldest habits, is what saved his stuff. He's a pack rat. He puts everything in his bags.
Oh, so true.
Same as
I
Finn.
was carrying everything with me, but it's just
You decided
Yeah,
it was
right.
safe
Shit.
here in the room, is what you thought.
yeah. And I realized, you know what? Maybe it's not safe. I've just lost 10-gallon keg of gunpowder. Whatever was left of my 40 pounds of tin. Oh, I didn't even use any of the tin. So yeah, 40 pounds of tin ingots. Yep. I lost my 40 pounds of lead. I kept the bronze on me, which was one good thing. But yeah, that's what I lost. Aside from my father's sword and his sheath that he gave me for when I left, and the smithing tool he gave me.
All right, which is also true. That is unfortunately gone.
I don't know. Wanda would have kept the stuff in her bag because she knows we gotta go.
Take
Drop
it back.
every 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we didn't have all that stuff like Sin did or ruined it.
Yeah, I feel bad.
Say most of my stuff is kind of cheap. The two things that I made sure to always keep on me were the Deathwalker's Ward and the frickin' Whisper. Because
imagine if that would have gone through.
Ooh, imagine that letter to Vexalia, like, so you know the stuff for your dead brother that you told me to guard with my life, right? What had happened was
my teammate got it sucked through a transplanar portal, and now I gotta go find it.
Wait, so he doesn't have it, or he's lucky?
No, I do. I do.
Have it.
Oh my god, I was gonna cry. Well, my character. But, it's a fun story to go to the...
I mean, it's all fun and games up until Whitestone declares war on Teleria because of it. I mean, being the queen, you can do shit like that.
It's bullshit. But yeah.
Personal slights become international problems.
History.
Hence why Sprouta's
Can I like order packs or something?
Can you what?
Like, can I order blood packs through like room service or something?
Yeah, if you say that you need blood, they bring you guys food. They don't let you starve overnight.
Oh, that's good.
That'd be the key thing would ruin we put there for the sword and the smithing tools.
Yeah.
Father's gift for when I left home.
That is true. Those are gone.
I'm gonna drink a ton of blood and pass out, bro.
You gonna gorge yourself on blood and pass out?
Yeah, I might as well. I've earned it today. I'm good.
All right. You easily get your meal of blood and pass yourself out. Easy enough for you to do.
Ruin, do you have any rope on you?
Of course, always have rope on me.
How tall is the ceiling, Ace?
I would say in your room it's roughly about 20 feet tall.
God damn, things aren't that bad. So
Can I have 10 feet of rope, Ruin?
Sure. Ruin will pull from the rope he's been cutting up and cut 10 feet off and hand it to Sin. So now I've gone down from 50 to 40. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna do it, Ace.
All right. Easy enough for you to do. You make it happen. Oh.
I'm gonna start climbing, and then about halfway up, I'm gonna ask Ruin, you want to come with?
Sure, why not?
Yeah. It's only a level 2 spell, thankfully. I have plenty of those.
So now Tahlu's alone in the room with
Wanda?
Oh yeah. I mean, I poke my head out and say if anybody else wants to join.
All you're gonna see is Tahlu reach over and knock on the door.
To which is opened immediately as soon as you knock.
He's just gonna point at the rope. He has zero fucks to give right now.
That's nice.
There's 10 feet of rope standing on end.
Yeah, to which they just look up at it, and they look up and down at it. What is the issue? Is the rope enchanted and you see him begin to draw his sword?
He's just gonna. Tyler's gonna look at him. Count the bodies.
To which he draws his sword and enters the room. Counts the two that are on the floor, passed out. Sees yourself. Where are the other two?
Tyler's just gonna shrug.
To which you see him immediately pull out a card and says, Captain Balandra, it seems that Sin and Ruin of Team Moonshadow are no longer in the room. What are your orders, sir? Understood. Captain Balandra says he'll be here himself momentarily. We're to wait for him, and he turns back to the soldiers outside the door. No one's allowed passage through the hallway under the captain's orders.
Hey, I don't follow directions.
You remember episode 1, everyone was worried about what I was gonna do.
I was trying to make a buck, man. Leave me alone.
No, I can't blame you, bro.
All right. So with that, Kristoff comes back, looks at the rope, looks at you, Tahlu, and says, where are they? What happened?
Tyler's just gonna shrug. Don't know. I'm not the leader. Not my responsibility.
And he just kind of stares at you for a long pair of uncomfortable minutes. Then he looks to the two that's on the ground. Then he looks to the rope and he begins to climb the rope himself. Still in his full plate band, which is the wild.
I'm going to be sitting in there playing cards.
Mm-hmm. So as he climbs up the rope, he just enters.
Yep.
And you just see, as you're sitting there playing cards, that his head pops up out of the actual entryway. He just kind of looks.
Hello?
I was informed that you were both no longer in the room and an alarm was sent.
No, this is a simple spell so I can separate my teammates so they can, as you so cleverly put it, calm themselves and quell their anger. We have not left the room. My rope remains anchored in our room along with this space. We cannot leave except via that rope.
Fully understandable. I have no issues with it. Carry on. And you see him just climb back down the rope. And with that, he just looks at you, Tahlu, and says, your roommates are still here.
Tahlu,
Like,
you can't find a single give a shit in Tahlu.
Oh, yeah. It was more that he was saying it aloud as an announcement. You don't think that he was waiting to see if you responded or not. And he seems to address the soldiers outside as the door closes.
I'm just going to climb back down real quick. Are you sure you don't want to come up, Tahlu?
Tahlu's gonna look at him. Yep. He's going back to reading.
I'm going to go up there and I'm going to kind of go over my mental flashcards and play with cards.
Easy enough. And as sleep eventually finds you all, we then bring ourselves into the next day, which this is the beautiful, beautiful star day, which is the 24th of Sarenrae. And the day of your final test, which is survival with Jorgi. As the sunlight comes breaking through the room early. As most of you come to wake, as you look up, you see that there's a figure that's standing there in the middle of the room, as Sprata's standing there.
It was standing at attention. Ruin just quiet, just standing at attention.
I say, dude, we're in the rope trick room. We don't see anything.
Oh, I mean, Ruin would have gotten up at his normal time and would have climbed down.
Oh, okay.
When you got up at your normal time and climbed down, Sprata was standing there.
And Ruin would be standing there at attention.
He would just nod to you.
Would I have heard him come in?
You can make a perception check at disadvantage since you were sleeping.
It's a 12.
I say we were supposed to hand the list to the guards right afterwards, right?
Yes. Ideally, you would have handed your list to the guards already.
Okay, making sure.
You would notice that there seem to be packs on the ground that seem to be replacements of the stuff that you had listed. So, of course, not your exact father's tools and sword, but a replacement sword and tools were brought.
At that point, I'm like, thank you. At least for these little things.
Which Sprata gives a nod to you.
Say, I don't know if I got my gunpowder or anything else, but I know I got those at least.
He just seems to be standing there waiting for everyone to wake naturally.
I'll just, wake up, sit up in my bed, like, I can sleep out my eyes.
Would you see Sprata standing there in his full battle readiness?
Okay. I'm just looking at him. I don't know. This is a bit awkward. Hello, Headmaster.
He gives a nod to you. He hasn't said anything since you've seen him here, but he doesn't look to have like a look of anger on his face or anything like that.
I'll probably wake up naturally and then take a few minutes, because I know my spell lasts for 10 hours, so I at least have a little bit of time to kind of sit there, kneel, and just kind of pray to the Raven Queen as I am trying to go over in my head everything that I've done up to this point to see if there's anything better I could have done to try and be a better leader, and then take a step back to try and find the courage to talk to, or not necessarily discipline, but be stern with the rest of my team, because we might be succeeding in school, but we are screwing up a lot.
You're welcome.
Said we, not just you.
I know.
Which is all well and good. Luna, you would, after you've had a fairly long rest, also would come to wake as the sunlight is streaming through the window. Or the fixed window now. As you would see that Sprata is standing there in the doorway, looking over the rest of your team.
I think Tahlu would have woken up when he heard Ruin talking to him.
Oh yeah. You hearing Ruin's voice would have popped you awake. You realize he was talking to Sprata, who's been standing in the room.
Yeah, I would have just sat up and started finishing up that book that I had. If there was any pages left, I'd just gloss over it real quick.
Yeah. Easy enough for you to do as you fell asleep reading it, so you can pull it back up and read into it some more. And I imagine, Sin, you eventually come down right before your spell ends.
Yeah, I'll kind of like dismiss it when it's got only a few minutes left, and then I'll collect the 10 feet of rope and curl it up.
To which, as you're doing all that, you realize that Sprata's standing there. Ruin, even though you're standing at attention, he kind of gave you a nod that you could be at ease.
Man, Ruin would at least relax a little, and then he'll go through the packs, look through his stuff, and then he's like, okay, well, since we got that, he'll put his stuff on his desk, and then he'll think about it, like, all that for, all that, God. So much money gone.
There's kind of a defeated, slumped Sin, kind of standing where his rope was standing.
Spada kind of looks at all of you and says, Team Moonshadow, good morning.
Morning, Headmaster.
Morning.
I was informed that there was a very unique circumstance that happened yesterday afternoon. I received Christoph's report. He filled me in and I came back. I would have come sooner, but I was in the midst of dealing with my father's effects at his estate. My estate.
Understandable.
Is everyone okay?
No one appears to be injured.
Then I'll ask this in a different way. Is Team Moonshadow okay?
I'm gonna look towards Sin.
Probably not even going to look back at Ruin. In all honesty, Headmaster, I don't know. We have several conflicts, both personal and communal.
I worry that you may be attempting to do too much too soon. It can be a large strain upon individuals to form a cohesive team. And you've been through more than most. So, Luna, Shadir, I wanted to ask you myself. Yesterday you seemed as if you had concerns, and today I hear that this issue happened. If you can tell me that it was an accident, you did not mean for any harm to come to anyone, I won't speak about it again. But I need to hear it from you.
Of course I didn't mean any harm. I just wanted to read a book.
It's understandable. The book in question was quite dangerous, as I've spoken with Miss Goodwin, and she assured me that the others should be destroyed for various reasons.
Yeah.
So I want you to know that I don't hold you accountable for what happened, because there's no way that you would have known that that book had the ability to do so. Apparently Goodwin wasn't available to understand that it fully could do such a thing.
Yeah, that was something about.
So I tell you, books need warning labels.
You're not wrong. I agree.
With that being said, are you able to continue to work as a team for a collective good?
I don't answer.
Kind of looks around at all of you.
I think our team needs some time to debrief, process what we...
Ruin's gonna, after Wanda's dying, Ruin's gonna be like, I don't know if I can trust everyone on my team anymore.
Sprada nods to that. I would normally allow a team to work themselves through these issues themselves, but I can understand that your situation doesn't fully allow for that, especially with the increased capabilities all of you have shown. So what I propose to you is this. After today's survival test, you can immediately begin your break. You don't have to wait till after the weekend. You won't be expected to return for the entirety of this month and the remaining month, and then you shall be expected to return on the 1st of Erodus.
Ruin will jot that down.
With that being said, take this time to decide if Aegis Academy, and more importantly, Team Moonshadow, is where you believe you need to be. The rest of your class has already begun, their survival trial. I would suggest that you take the next hour to eat and prepare. And then you should come to the teacher's tower when you are finished as a team. I'll see you there. You see Sprada turn and walk away. I would say all of you make a sense motive check.
I'm gonna do mine with disadvantages. I've been reading the whole time.
All right.
I got a 15.
26. Nat 20 plus 6.
All right.
I got a 19.
Let's see, a 4 plus 6, so I got a 10.
I'll be right back. I have to use the bathroom.
Okay.
My other roll was a 13.
Oh, wait, this is the wrong character.
Nice. What'd you get, Wanda?
I need a second. I had the wrong character pulled up.
All right. Over here using the wrong character, shenanigans.
Wait. Which character's higher?
Alright, I got a 21.
All right. Well, on the bright side, yourself and Sin. Normally, Spot always seems like he's carrying a lot of weight on his shoulders and a lot of things. This is probably the first time that you can really think that you felt like a true sorrow in his voice, as he seemed not even down, he seemed truly remorseful, as if he felt that everything that's happened to you all is his fault.
No, Rowan probably questions him. He goes, like, hey, is he okay? If anything, because you can't get a read on him.
No, Ruin. He's not.
Can I get that again?
You didn't make the check, so you didn't fully get it, but Sprada just seemed different.
Yeah, I would say Rowan would have just questioned, like, he seems a little different, and Sam would have told him.
And to Tahlu, he looked like he was happy.
But
I would say for Tahlu, you just didn't notice any difference in him. You noticed something seemed different with him, but you couldn't figure out what it was, or...
He felt the vibe check.
All right, it was like, you don't seem to be yourself, but I don't fully know what that is. So yeah, with that, you all have an hour before you're expected to report for your survival training.
Breakfast.
Yes.
yeah, I was like, Rowan would head over to breakfast and study a little bit.
Got an hour for breakfast, and then you are to be at the teacher's tower as a team.
Are we the only team in the breakfast room?
You are the only team that is in the entire cafeteria.
Damn.
I'm going to grab a very basic, light meal, not even a dessert, and then just kind of sit down and eat it quickly and quietly.
I'm gonna eat my meal and then pack away some rations. Also, I'm gonna take a couple napkins.
Valid. Good point. After you all eat, make your way to the teacher's tower, as Jorg is standing there along with Celine. And Celine has probably the best poker face you've ever seen. You don't know if she's mad or not, if this is a warm, sunny day at brunch, or if she was dealing with the worst news ever. She just seems completely blank behind the mask she's put on her face.
I'm going to attempt to do something similar in the sense where it is just empty.
I'm gonna be right back.
All right.
Yeah, because let's say Rowan's not feeling it today. It's just
And Team Moonshadow.
Going to nod.
She gives a nod to Jorgie, who looks like, oh yeah. Well, normally, kind of scratches his head. The survival test would be you know, you would just wake up in like this weird place, and, you know, make your way back to Aegis Academy, and then it'd be like, okay, but you all are different, so it's like he kind of looks at Celine. An alternative method was decided upon. That, yeah, what Celine said. So, gonna do it a little different. You guys should be safe. Kind of looks at Celine, who gives a nod. You all just have to make it back to Aegis Academy. Yeah. Just
We should be safe.
Just come back and it should be really safe.
Yep.
And with that, Celine kind of looks over at you and says, Team Moonshadow, are you prepared?
I'll look to make sure everyone's here.
Ruin's just gonna let out a heavy sigh and like, I'm ready.
Hey, we're ready.
Excellent. So with that one, you all pop into the station, and as you're standing there on the teleportation circle, Celine begins to cast a spell, and after it's done, there's a flash of light, and you all find yourselves sitting on a sandy beach, looking out at a very clear blue ocean. As the teleportation circle is inscribed into the sand where you guys all landed, as it begins to fade, you can see there are people that seem to be playing on the beach. Some are kind of out in the shallows fishing a bit. It seems to be a very lovely and nice place.
Yeah.
How long do we have to get back?
Probably should have asked that before we left, but I'm going to presume 24 hours.
Let's say I don't know if Celine's with us or not. That's why I'm just saying it out loud.
Nope.
Shield eyes from the sun.
Can I make a knowledge geography check?
You can.
Ruin's just gonna ask somebody, where are we?
If you just ask a random person, one of the kids kind of runs by. He's like, "We're in Mynare, Birdman."
All right, got
So
it.
what you hear their parent kind of like smack them in the back of the head, like, "Don't be rude, child. He's a bird."
I was like, it's fine. And Ruin will flick him a silver coin.
He is clearly a Strix, you ignoramus, which you hear this little girl who seems to be younger than him say, as she seemingly is reading a book and not looking up.
I like that one.
I'm going to go walk over to the girl reading the book.
Like, thank you.
What continent are we on, if you would know then, please?
This is still Varia. Looking from your uniforms, you are from Aegis Academy. We're to the south of Aegis Academy. We're right on the peninsula.
So
Thank
would
you.
the geography check I got at 21 give that to me?
It would. You'd realize that you are in Mayera, which is on the tip of the southern continent, kind of a vacation town, for lack of a better word. You know that Teleria is a straight shot north of here, and there's the city of Doan in between, and it's about roughly, on foot, it's maybe a 5-day journey, give or take. If you were to travel by horseback, you could generally make the trip in about a day and a half at worst.
At that point, I'd be like, all right, so whenever you're ready, let's head back.
Like, if you took a forced march and did it, you'd probably make it to Doan in roughly about 6 hours, and you can make it from Doan to Teleria in another 6 hours.
Okay, so we did a forced march on, like, horseback.
If you did a forced march just walking it, it would take you about that time. If you walked it, it would take about a week. If you were picking them up and putting them down, you could get there in roughly about 12 hours. But most people just casually walking tend not to cover that much time every day, or that much ground every day.
Well, time to put Xavier's training to work.
Oh, Xavier, training coming to good years. Let's go, team.
Level 5. Ruin, what's your standard fly speed?
60.
60. Okay.
I want to look for like any horse places, anything like that.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what Ruin would suggest.
Any modes of travel.
Either by carriage or something. if we must.
When using spell long distance movement, you can hustle without taking non-lethal damage. A forced march still requires a Constitution check. Means you can cover 64 miles in 8 hours period of flight, 48 miles at speed. I can do this 1 hour per level. Communal is non-affected. All right.
I was like, so we want to rent some horses to head out to Teleria.
You would know that in a vacation town area like this, actually, I would say, Luna, you would know from your check that you are in a, ideally considered the very version of like Miami. It's a sandy, relaxed place, doesn't have many natural predators and things like that down, even in the water. Off to the west, you would know are the wide open plains where the barbarian tribes tend to roam, but they, due to multiple things in history, do not come to bother the village of Myera or the actual trails in between here. And if anybody wants to make a history check, because you guys would have heard of Doen, you can learn something about that.
I think I have knowledge history.
I don't, so it doesn't matter to ruin.
I got a 19.
14 plus 4 for an 18.
Let's see.
You two would both easily know that Doen is almost considered a kind of almost suburb of Teleria. It's a good way to think about it. It's considered a small place, more wealthier families tend to move out there and kind of vacation home there. And from what you would know of is that Sprata is considered to have a kind of home there where he kind of did stay before Aegis Academy, and it used to be kind of his home place that he kind of worked out of and kind of did everything out of, and still has a large villa there, as he and his squad protected it from a bandit raid in the mountains long time ago. Well, a bandit raid long time ago.
I want to write we were there. We were there on his cabin.
You got a question, Ace.
Mm-hmm.
Would I be able to attempt to cast Overland Flight on Tahlu and Wanda?
You could.
And the fastest way for us to get back is flying.
Okay. I'm cool with flying. I like flying. Flying's awesome.
Are you ready to actually try and fly this time, Tahlu?
Tahlu can fly. He can always fly. He just chooses not to, apparently.
It's all just gonna look at him and shrug like, your call.
It's not cool.
If I can get Overland Flight to work twice out of the 3 charges that I have, Luna can turn into her wild shape of a bird, and Ruin can hopefully carry me because my armor only lasts for an hour. Ready to give this a shot?
Can I do can I make sure we're going the right way?
Yeah,
Yes,
I'd say from
please.
your check that you already did, you would know, you already have an idea of the direction if you guys head north from here that you should hit Teleria.
Okay, I'll just turn into a bird and start flying that direction when he says that.
All right.
Bruno's gonna sit down and actually make a little sand castle.
Alright, I guess I'm going to give this a shot. Who wants to go first?
Oh, me.
Okay. What do I have to do to try and cast Overland Flight from my spellbook?
Let me see. What level is Overland Flight?
5th level. It is at the peak of what I can cast right now.
Then I would say it's just a spellcraft check.
Okay. Spellcraft, +9. Here goes nothing. Stop spinning. Alright, 12 plus 9, 21.
29. With that, you cast it, and Wanda, you feel that you can now fly.
Woo!
Take it a little easy.
I would say as long as you don't try anything ridiculous, you can fly in a straight line, simple enough.
There, Bruno's grabbing a little stick. Ah! My castle is done.
Alright, Tahlu. I'm gonna hold up my hand.
Tahlu just sit there or stand there.
Alright. Okay, 16 plus 9, 25.
works just as well. And Tahlu, you begin to feel yourself levitate into the air under your own will.
Are either of you two in medium or heavy armor?
Nope.
No?
Okay.
Wanda?
And then they're good. They can fly at the full 60 feet, so we can cover, what is that, 64 miles in 8 hours, and we have 10 hours of flight, so...
Oh yeah, you'll be able to make it all the way back to Telaria in that amount of time.
Ruin, if you would be so kind, and I'm just going to hold my arms up.
Come here, little guy. Bye-bye, little girl. And whoosh.
I will actually toss her, like, a actual platinum coin for 10 gold.
And she kind of gives a look to it and just kind of looks back up at you. Why would you give a random girl money?
Why not?
Always-
You've been helping.
Always taught to treat kindness with at least a little bit of thanks.
And you see the little boy go to snatch it up and kind of look at it. She's like, he gave you money. You're supposed to take the money. She just kind of shakes her head like boys and takes the coin from him.
Word.
Congratulations, she's now a prostitute.
Hijo de chingada.
Not that bad.
Services for payment.
We all
That means everybody's a prostitute.
Pretty much.
Maybe.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
but she was literally on the street.
No, she's not. She's on a bench. On the beach.
I don't want to hear.
Brazil.
I don't want to hear no goddamn semantics. I want to hear no. Don't dress up the facts. It's like leave it alone.
But with that, if you guys use overland flight, you will make your way back to Aegis Academy in just under 8 hours.
All right, neat. I'm getting just flying back.
Oh, snaps.
So what I missed? How do we end up in a fucking bumfuck Egypt?
It required extenuating circumstances to actually test us.
Yes. So it seems that things were changed. And once you all make it back after your 7.5 hours of flight, you make it back at Aegis Academy. And as you begin to drop down into the courtyard, you see that there's a small banner saying, "Welcome back, students." And you notice that none of the other students are there as the professors are standing there. And they kind of give you a nod and a small amount of clapping.
It's like I guess we're the first ones here.
You are the first students to arrive back here at the academy.
I guess we got the easy one.
All right.
Maybe it's more favoritism.
No.
I think it's the let's not put these people in anything where they can actually get in trouble.
Actually, you just were able to apparently tell direction. Some of the other teams are struggling with unification and following through on the directions, though it seems that Team Darkspell isn't far behind you.
What do you mean following directions? It's just, hey, it's that way, go that way. That part's wrong with that, you're saying?
Not everybody can fly.
And not everyone can follow directions. As Ruin walks away.
With
Hey,
that being said, Jace actually comes over to you, Tahlu, and says, "It seems there was a misunderstanding about me and your final, and the way that we went about things." And he kind of holds out his hand to you and says, "So I want to offer you an apology. I was under the impression that you were able to use the God Killer at your own discretion at this point."
So you're just gonna look at him like, I expect to be treated as every other student regardless. Not to try to put on some display of power every time I'm seen.
You must understand me, Mr. Lias. I wasn't treating you any differently. I expected you to use all your capabilities against me, and had taken precautions to make sure nobody else would be damaged by the outcome of that.
Well, then forgive me for not having full trust in teachers, as last time I did that, and he's going to look in the direction of the district that was destroyed.
Mm-hmm. And that's why we're here with the apology for you. I should have communicated my thoughts on the subject clearly, and I failed to do so. That's not your fault, that's mine. So due to your restraint that's been shown and your spellcasting abilities that are already known to me, I've decided, because of my fault, that you get to ace your tests. You'll have your final to see whether or not you've actually fully lived up to that grade that I'm giving you.
Tahlu's just gonna there would be no need to sense motive. He's shaking his hand as simply as a gesture.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jace and pretty much almost anybody's gonna know that's Tahlu's going
Lip
through
service.
the motions. Not even that, just he's going through the motions. He knows when someone extends their hand, you're expected to shake their hand. And he's like, I understand that we are now on break since we have returned.
To which you hear Sprata says, you have completed your final. You are all free as we discussed. Safe travels to you all. If you need any accommodations in the meantime or you wish to go nowhere, you are free to stay here at Aegis Academy. And if you need transportation to somewhere, that can be arranged.
Tahlu's going to nod, and he's actually going to head towards the room.
All right. With that, Celine comes up to you, Sin, and says, congratulations, Sin. You performed admirably and amazing. Outstanding.
I'm gonna bow at the waist and still kind of very restrained say thank you, Master.
Upon your return, I imagine that we shall have much to discuss.
I just need to prepare the last few things before I depart. And then I will be traveling to Heartstone and then Ventus.
If there's anything I can do to assist with that, do not hesitate to ask me.
I'll just kind of nod.
All right, so the midterms have been completed, with you all receiving a grade of ace as you return the quickest. And in this one, as long as you returned, you passed. The quickest teams, the top 4 teams that returned the quickest, or the top half, get an ace.
Neat.
Ironically, you all also had less of a head start as the other teams, as they were magically transported at midnight.
Wow, so like a big ass head start.
I mean, they didn't wake up immediately after being transported.
No, it sounds like it. They didn't wake up.
Celine is skilled enough that she could easily like spatula them out of their bed and put them down wherever she wanted.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and most of them could have made it back possibly and even competed with the times you made. It's just they didn't use their capabilities in that way. Some had some conflicts, such as walking through Hyphalion and the issues with that. And it was more to see if people could navigate from the countryside back to Aegis Academy well as a team. And while Myera isn't the most complex of places, if you don't understand geography or exactly where you are, or have the ability to talk to people in a way to get them to express where you are in a way you can understand, it can be a little bit more complex.
That means we just got lucky.
I mean, you weren't the only team that went to Myera. The other team that ended up going to Myera was Team Nightmare, and there's a lot of racism that happened with them. So they were on their way back, but they were taking it on foot.
They probably saw us fly overhead.
Oh yeah, ideally y'all would have seen them. They didn't stay on the road; they stayed a bit off the road, just to be a little less to deal with humans in general. But they made it back quickly enough. They were the 3rd team back overall.
Hot damn. So that means Darkspell would be 2nd.
Yep.
Nightmare would be 3rd. Who's 4th?
Let me see. I can pull up there.
Come on, John.
Rankings.
I'm hoping for you to get past.
To get an ace? No. John's directional skills, while not bad, the team that came in 3rd was Angelic Glory. Well,
So 4th.
4th, technically. Then it was Team Scorpion. Team Goliath and Dragonfire were the last 2 to come in, as technically they made it back. John's team was last, but they made it.
Oh, yay. At least he's not expelled.
Fail. What is a fail?
A fail would have been not making it back at all.
And would they be going to find them, or?
Yes. Ideally, you all were being tracked, but had somebody not made it back in, let's say, the 2 days that you have been gone over the weekend, then it would have been a bit of an issue that apparently you cannot survive out in the wild, and it would have been a fail.
Okay.
You can't find your way back from.
I like how you say from the wild, and yet we were like a fucking holiday resort.
Right?
I mean, you were on this most southernmost tip from Teleria at that point, directly south, other than dropping you directly into the water.
Yep. Right there on the beach, just like.
Ironically for you, Luna, you passed over this very town heading back to Teleria.
Heading back to Teleria
From Aegis Island.
Oh, cool. That's what's up.
So yes, indeed. So with that, you all are heading to your separate ways. Would you all like to say where you're heading off to and what you're doing, and then we'll recap that next time.
Because I know Ruin's probably just waiting for Avarice to get back.
Before I actually forget, Ruin, you actually have a letter waiting for you when you return to your room.
Oh, you got a letter?
Yes.
Let's see what that letter's about.
You just got a letter.
I say Ruin normally doesn't get mail. He sends mail, and he does never expect anything.
That is true. Your letter is actually from Xanzos, as it has the Royal Xanzos seal upon it, and says that you are no longer required or expected to come to Xanzos over this off-season, as the General has other affairs to contend with and will not be available.
Okay, well, I guess I don't have to go train.
And it's signed from the Queen herself.
Oh, wow. Well, I guess once Avarice gets back, I guess I don't have to go to Xanzos because of other things for training.
And she kind of takes a look at it and says, well, that's nice. Seems that we didn't make it back in time before you all, but we both passed, so congratulations. And she gives you a kiss.
And everyone will return it. I'm like, thank you. I think we had a fly speed advantage. That's probably why.
Well, ideally, that's using everything that you can do.
True. So what are your plans for this vacation? Because now I have no idea what I'm supposed to do.
Well, I believe that I am probably going to study up. I believe that I need to get fitted for my dress eventually. Come to an idea on the style that I want to use.
Moon will not.
But overall, I don't have too many plans. I was informed that I shouldn't be coming back to Xanzos this off break. And I believe that my father wanted to study more and offered private lessons.
Speaking of father, maybe I do have an idea of what I can go do. Maybe it's time to head home.
Kind of looks at you like you've never talked about home.
It's very lonely.
Well, whenever you get back, I'll still be here.
Yeah, that's good. That's great. At least I have somebody to be here to welcome me and not just address me.
Well, when you get back, we'll celebrate properly and we'll begin our second term.
I probably won't be there very long.
I'm sure it'll be just fine.
Rowan with a very faint smile. And he's trying to hide something. That's 14 on that bluff to try and hide anything.
All right. You see her like immediately change her face. Like if there's something wrong, you can say it.
She gets advantage. She slept with you. She's seen you naked.
Look, that don't mean nothing around these parts.
That was it, pretty much. The point is just, I don't know. Sometimes I just don't feel comfortable going home. At least, not alone.
Well,
but you have plans, and I don't want to get in the way of that.
I might not be able to go, but I can send someone from my team with you.
Well, I would say Adam, but I can't take Adam because of my father.
All right, well.
Disguise him as an elf.
Get could go with you.
Good. Let's say, but we just go. I'll go ask your team then. Or see who wants.
Get and Rhett could go as your bodyguards in my place to protect you. Because you're my consort. She kind of tickles your chin.
It's like, at that point, everyone's like, we need protection.
But yeah, if you want to, you can ask them. They're in their room. Because they had gotten back later than y'all.
Just remember, last time they protected us, we ended up jumped by her grandfather.
Yeah, I know. At that point, too, Ruins are like, I don't know. The last time we needed protection, you lost one of them. And
Let's say I was the one that had to protect them.
yeah, and I go at that point, I'm like, Sin had to protect him. We lost Sin. He came back. Then one of your guys didn't get to come back to your team.
And she gives you a very serious look and says, I fully understand how things like that could happen.
Yeah, I just don't want to endanger anyone really in your team. But we'll go ask. I guess go head into the room. I go, like, pretty much you'll get Rhett or basically anybody. I'm going to be headed home and was wondering if anyone would care to go with me. I go, Adam, obviously, I can't bring you for my father's reasons.
When you kind of pauses, you see Adam says, wait, what?
My father.
He is horribly racist.
Yeah, at that point, Rose is like kind of like real. He's trying to mull into it. He goes, he doesn't like humans and he doesn't trust them. He's explained to me certain things that I'm just not fully comfortable saying just yet to everyone. But you were my first choice, but I wouldn't be able to take you anyways because he wouldn't allow you near my home. If not, he'd try to kill you.
Well, as someone who grew up in Drow society, I won't say that'd be the first or the last time someone's told me something like that.
Yeah, but
I'll respect your wishes about it.
Yeah, I don't want any harm to come to you, especially from it being my fault.
It's all right. I understand. I trust you. I may not have always liked you, but I trust you.
It's okay. First time I met you, didn't like you, but I tried to remember what my mother taught me before.
He gives a slight nod about it.
And Ruin will look toward Get and Red. He goes, I just recommended one of you guys. If you wanted to go, or if I look toward Kat, Zayak, or Amnesia, unless one of y'all wanted to go with me.
You see that Rhett and Gith immediately stand up, nod, and says, we'll do it.
No, you both don't have to go. Just somebody.
You see them both kind of look at each other. They kind of look back to you. Then they look back at each other again. And then you see them slowly sit down. And Gid says, I'll go with you.
All right. Thank you.
And then Adam says, yeah, somebody has to keep him safe.
Rowan's literally just going to start laughing. Be safe.
As he looks down to the ground and says, I've kept myself alive in the wilds long enough. Kind of hard
Oh yeah.
to think of myself as being safe.
Which it works out that way. So you have Get Kith, who's going to be heading out with you.
All right. You might want to pack for cold because it's probably snowing.
Kind of gives a nod and says that can be done, and he gives you a bow.
He's like, you don't have to bow toward me.
You are the princess's consort, of course.
Yeah. Father's just going to think it's weird, and I really don't want to explain things any more than I have to.
Understandable. And you see him like go to bow again and stop himself and stand up.
Much better.
At least he's trying.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, you have your plan set. Sin, you've made your plans to take off.
Yep. The last person I'm gonna try and catch is Ruin right before I leave.
Hey, what's going on, little buddy? Get's packing up right now. He's gonna go with me. He's gonna actually head with me home.
I'm leaving now.
Off to do what you have to do. I can postpone my trip. I can go with you.
No, you wouldn't be able to get past the front gate. All rights of the household are suspended until the secession has happened or been squashed. So I can't invite you in.
No, pat him on the head. It's all right, little buddy. You'll win. I believe in you.
Just gonna take a deep breath and the facade will fall away for a second. I really hope I can come back.
You'll make it back.
I'll hold out a fist for a fist bump.
Everyone just like reaches straight down. He goes, "Gotcha, buddy."
He dabs his 2 fingers.
Yep. It's like,
And then I will turn to leave. And I will go find Celine.
Easy enough for you to find Celine. She's in her office at this point.
I'm going to knock before I come in, but announce myself, at least.
All right. Which you do. And once you knock, all of a sudden, the door opens up silently. As you see that Celine is standing there and looks like she's looking down at a book that she slowly closes and puts down.
I will step in and politely bow. Go, Master Celine, it has been an honor and a privilege to study by your side. I thank you for all the help that you've given me and all of the lessons that I've been able to learn along with the magic. I hope to do you proud by coming back, but I don't foresee a very easy journey there.
I fully understand that, and I've sent my words and my best assistance to help you send ahead of you. I believe that you'll find that things are a bit, I won't say easier, but won't be as difficult as you expect.
Thank you. I have some of my own, and a very difficult ace up my sleeve to play, but I'm not entirely sure how. I plan on taking what few teachings I got from my father, in the sense of I will use everything at my disposal without sacrificing any of your teachings or what you've taught me, and lose any part of myself in the process.
As far as everything else that's been allowed, you suddenly see that beside you there's a slight ripple in the air. As you see your sister standing there, says, "I'm looking forward to traveling home, brother."
I am going to basically tackle hug her. I haven't seen her in a good while.
To which she embraces the hug completely. To which her and Celine kind of look at each other and not fully sure of what they're saying to each other because they just have a look, but it seems to be some type of understanding and a nod from your sister. And then she stops and your sister does the thing that you've never even remotely thought you'd ever see. She gives a salute and a bow to you and says, "At your command, sir."
Are you feeling okay?
Then she kind of looks up. "I'm fine, fool. I'm trying to play the part correctly."
Oh,
To which
okay.
you just hear Celine begin to giggle. Oh, brothers and sisters are the same no matter where we are.
That's funny.
Then I guess we're gone.
If you would like, Sin, I can actually send you to Hearthstone from here.
I think that would be easiest.
I thought that might help avoid some difficult questions if you were both seen walking around the academy grounds.
Yeah.
At which point she begins starting to cast a spell as you're talking to her, and a huge teleportation circle envelops you and your sister.
I guess I'll take my sister's hand.
You do. And just as you're starting to disappear, you just hear your sister say, "I can see the bags under your eyes."
I'm gonna look up at her as we kind of land outside or inside of Hearthstone.
You actually land not inside, but you actually land inside the actual castle grounds of Hearthstone.
Oh no!
I'm gonna look up at my sister and go, "It was so nice up until the end. Why?"
You just hear it be like, look, you wouldn't understand, okay?
I don't understand if you don't tell me.
It's a woman thing.
Hold on. I need to see if Sin will blurt this out or not. Oh god, a 2, yes. It's like, well, I had to go find things out for my own, and I finally learned out what the birds and the bees are thanks to Ruin.
And you just see the look of shock and amusement, shock, and then fear on her face as she tries to compute what might have happened.
Thanks to Ruin, huh?
And no, it's a 2, so he's gonna continue. He's like, yeah, well, she almost did it, but I ran away.
And then at the end, she's like, "Okay, now it all makes sense."
Well, she pinned me down and she fed me alcohol and we were. No, I don't want to go back there. Nope. I'm just gonna start walking towards the train station.
She does have some guards are there and they're acknowledging you as they kind of give a bow to you and says, "I can fully imagine that, brother. Some people actually pay very handsomely for that type of action."
What?
And she just keeps walking past you.
Wait! I'm gonna run to catch up with her.
All right. As for Wanda and Luna, what are you choosing to do?
Wanda is gonna go with me home to learn more about my father.
I actually did.
Yes.
Do I have to go? Do we go to one place for the whole time, or like?
You have approximately at this point, because this is the
Like basically a month and a half.
I would say the amount of time you have about roughly over 31 days. Hold on, let me count it out for you because I can be exact about this. Today you woke up on the 24th of Sarenrae because it's Star Day. You have 5 weeks basically, or 38 days till you're expected back at Aegis.
Wanda wants to go with me to my mom's and then go to Pathfinder and try to become a Pathfinder. I want to go to my mom's and then travel a little bit around the world.
Wait, you want to try to go to Absalom and take the Pathfinder Initiate test?
Yes.
I thought we were already initiates.
I mean, you're technically in a program that'll graduate you and let you try to become a Pathfinder, but you do realize that to be initiate, you normally have to be sponsored by somebody to become a Pathfinder.
Which is why I was going to ask Sprada to sponsor me.
All right. I can tell you now he's going to tell you no till you graduate.
Yeah, and what the fuck?
We
What are
still
you,
have a
Dad?
lot to learn, yeah. You could travel with me.
I can travel with you.
Oh man, you can't.
You out here trying to have Sprada give you the fast track graduation, bro?
Hey man, he said if I needed a favor, I could ask him. I don't know. I feel like I've been pretty good. I've been good.
We can travel on a small scale. I guess I won't travel the half the world or anything. Just
There are probably 6 places.
no, I wanted to just travel the world. I can.
I mean,
fine.
depending on how much money you have, you could do a lot of travel.
Want to explore the Mongolian expanse?
No,
Yeah.
I was already.
I mean, there's a lot of places that you're unaware of that you can go. But there's some places you are aware of, like, Stone is further north of your home. You know that Stone Heart, under the mountain, is the dwarven city on the east coast, under the mountains. You know that there's Mayer and Doan to the south. You know that directly to the west, across the Calerian Bay, there is Majira, which is the kind of a wild, wild westish type of town. Trades with the Barbarian tribes, has kind of a loose knit on laws. It's kind of either you make it or you don't type place.
Well, what if I wanted to find a leyline temple in that area?
I mean, your study on ley lines isn't as great as you think, ma'am. And you don't have a book that would help you anymore.
That kind of sounds like a big boy mission.
But if you want to take a month to try to find ley lines, we can always add that to the list of things you're looking for.
Sure. Yeah, let's do that. What do you think? Are you going with me to my mama's?
I will go with you to your moments.
Okay, well that's what we're doing.
Easily. So you're packing to head out and go to Wolf Pine. All right. And as for yourself, Tahlu, what is your plans?
Tahlu's actually gonna stay at the academy, and on his days when he gets a chance, he's gonna ask Sprada for permission to practice with stage Warmasters that are in his family's crypt.
Do you want to go with me?
Which Sprada will definitely agree with that and allow you to do so and continue the training that Tara's done. He will inform you that Tara is not there as she is leaving with Sin to return to their home.
He thought he was just gonna nod like, okay, that's not a big deal.
But yeah, you're giving full access and permission, and under the rules that you're allowed all graces there. So when you're there, people treat you like you're the man. There are people that get you drinks when you want something to drink, food if you're hungry, escort you around to whatever you want.
Actually, I think Tahlu would not. Like, if he gets thirsty, he's just gonna, like, quietly, like, all right, I'm gonna go get a drink.
Yeah, it's the type of thing where, like, the guys are just assigned to you, so, like, even when you go, they just kind of, like, follow you around and see if there's anything you want. And so at random times, they'll, like, try to guess what you want, like, bring liquids for you before you're thirsty. Or bring food when you don't want it.
Bastards. How dare they be useful?
Well, they're just like, nah, we got this shit. You ain't got to do nothing.
Right, like the first couple of days they get that, but by like the third or fourth day, you see that they seem to have water at the ready. They got chilled water, and over the days they get better at it, where they start bringing chilled and room temperature water, depending on what you want.
Just so I can't fucking trick them?
Right.
I want water. Room temperature, iced, slightly warm. Damn it.
Tap, fountain,
Spring, mineral.
Magical water? Shit, we got it all.
No credit, bad credit. Screw it. Ghost credit. I'm gonna get a Subaru.
Other than that,
Fucking love
Tahlu
that.
would ask about ask Sprout if they got any more information on the Avalier or anything that he can study or anything like that.
Which he kind of admits that he may have an idea, but the resources he had were being used and diverted towards something else currently. But he believes that he should have some news over the next coming days.
Tahlu's just like, oh, that's fine. I was just wondering. No need to worry about how I'm gonna react. And that's very genuine. He's like if Sprout's like, yeah, like if he's doing it sheepishly, Tahlu's gonna be like, no, it's fine. I understand. Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, he's definitely the way the Sprout says it. It make a sense motive check.
Oh shit! My first nat 20 of the night.
Hot damn.
Sense motive is going to be 26.
Right. From that, you get that you can tell that there's something he's wanting to say, but not openly say it here, and that he's probably going to give you some information that you're looking forward to. But he's trying to say it and convey it in a way that makes it seem as if he doesn't have that information yet.
Okay, well then again, Tahlu's just gonna reiterate, like he's just like, yeah, it's fine, I understand. I was just curious, and I appreciate all the help.
All right.
And other than that, it's just gonna be practicing, studying, and letter writing.
Excellent. Sounds good. Sounds like a plan. Sounds like it'll work out. And Ruin, as you begin to take off your trip, you see that Get Kith is ready and fully packed.
I was saying, Get's back. He's fully packed and everything. I was like, all right, well, let me go say my goodbyes and we'll head out. And we're gonna go back. Tell Avarice he's headed out already. I'll see her when he comes back. He shouldn't be gone no longer than a few weeks. He'll end up giving her a kiss goodbye, and I'll tell everyone in the room, I'll see y'all soon.
Maybe.
No, I say, yeah, it could be a maybe. We don't know.
Which could be an accurate way to look at it. It's got all the things out there ready. And you see that Get Kith. You see that his outfit has actually also changed, too, from this kind of traditional slacks. You see that it has almost looks to be kind of black slacks with these kind of high black boots that come up to about mid-calf. You see that his vest is kind of black with gold inlay, and it kind of has these long sleeves that are attached outside of it underneath on his shirt. And from what you can see, he seems to have a kind of larger, wide-rimmed hat that kind of hangs low over his head.
Neat. All right, we'll start to head out.
And with that, he seems to easily match your pace, easy enough about anything else. And with that, everybody heads off on their break for their midterms, ready to find a little bit more about themselves, their destiny, or try to confirm the person that they are, who they want to be. And that is where we'll end the session.
Yay!
I want the freaking incredible Hulk music playing as Rowan's walking away.
Wow, wow, wow.
It's all going to be pestering Luna with tons of questions about her.
And I would be giving the simplest answers, like, I don't know, red, whatever. They're nice. It's fine. It's warm.
Oh, yeah, it's just a whole trip of that.
That is quite hilarious, because while things work out, technically, Ruin and Get Kith would be heading the same way that Luna and Wanda would be headed. Just at different times.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I kind of want to say goodbye to Gat, but Ruin and me needs some fix. He's kind of mad at me.
I would say, nah, I would have left like probably about 2-3 hours later. I would have made sure that Get got all his stuff and all that jazz.
Oh yeah. Well, Get, unlike most, stays ready. He's very practical in that way. So Get was ready like 20 minutes later.
So he was ready like 20 minutes later, and I waited a few hours before we headed out. Just mulled about and then said goodbye and we walked out.
Oh yeah, it seems to be a whole thing as people were heading off their different ways for their break. For our after credits scene, we come back in on an estate not far from the actual castle that's in the distance for Teleria, where the king and queen rest. You see that walking through these large marbled hallways with boots that are echoing is Sprada in his full combat gear. Head kind of down, shoulders a bit slumped. As he walks past a large portrait that seems to show, looks to be his family, where he sees his sister, his father, himself, his mother. And as he goes and walks back to a large chamber with a large desk, he sees that Celine is sitting there going through papers. As they kind of look up to each other and see that Celine, easily knowing his sister, can see that she's been crying again. And just kind of comes over and gives her a slight hug. And without saying another word, he just kind of kneels down and starts going through papers also. Elsewhere in the world, seated at a table that's been nicked and marked up more times than not by a dagger that one of the members seems to constantly want to slam into the table and notch out a piece of wood until the table eventually needs to be replaced. Sabrina sits there with her two cohorts and says, "So, here is the plans that I have for bringing down Sprada Sindal. And if necessary, the entire nation of Teleria with him." To which one of them, a large man with an even larger wolf behind him, kind of absentmindedly pets his wolf, while the other one sitting there takes out his dagger, which he slams into the table again, with its black jeweled hilt and its long black waved dagger actual slamming in. "I'm all ears, sister." And we fade away from that. And for our last part, all the way back in Opara, at a lovely little bakery that's in the slums, that's loved by all. That's all's loved in this little bakery, as Helga and Olaf Yanovich are sitting there with a small little bundle in their arms, as people come in to see them and buy bread, as they let everyone know that the baby is named Frank, after their wonderful patron that helped them out and made sure that the baker's dozen can help out all of the slums.
I can't believe she let him do it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you gave him like 10 G's, man.
It's straight up. You fucking made him rich.
And basically, you made them be able to take care of the entire slums for a while, bro.
Yeah, let's say they walking around just like Dave Chappelle when he has the freaking truck of goddamn cools.
There is one last thing that's marked out.
Ooh.
After a very difficult time, because Tahlu, you'd actually seen a little bit of this, you see that they're walking back through the Sindal Citadel. You see what looks to be a lot of the upper echelon members that you remember, but they look rough. They look like whatever they went through it. You see them singed, damaged. You see parts of their armor broken. You see them look bloodied. And none of them look happy.
At this point, what is their feeling toward, like, obviously we're not friends, but I've been there a while. They're used to seeing me around.
Well, they have their orders to leave you be, so they just walk past you. So you see them in the hallway, and they like walk past you, but they look like they just rolled out of a battle zone.
I'm gonna be like the guys that are around me that are supposed to be giving me water. I'm just gonna look at them like, y'all make sure they get something to drink. They don't look too good.
We're not allowed to interact with the commander, sir. We're not high enough level.
Right.
I was saying, you did notice that one of them, Amari in the front, was holding what looks to be a blade in a sheath. And you notice that he already had his other swords that were on his hips, so it wasn't his.
Oh no.
I think Tahlu would just make a mental note of that sword.
I would say it was fairly unique because from what you can see, it seemed to have been... The other sword was silver, but this one had a white sheath around it and had what looked to be some type of white claw at the hilt.
Interesting.
And out of all their outfits and all this stuff, it was pristine.
Even Amari looked fucked up?
Oh yeah, even Amari looked fucked up.
Damn.
But Amari looked like he was fucked up, but he enjoyed whatever it was. Everybody else looks like this was some bullshit.
So he's one of those. He's one of those ones that he loves that challenge.
He's down for it.
And I guess if I can't really give them any water or food, because I'm not going to interact with them directly, I'll, like, as they walk by, I'll probably just give like a small little head nod and, return to my practicing.
I was going to say, you know what? Would have been nice, but none of them seem to really acknowledge you. Amari doesn't seem to be paying attention to you. He seems fully focused on the sword and excited.
Yeah, I imagine that. But yeah, overall, anytime that Tahlu would actually come into proximity with them, he's going to act cordial. He's not going to act high and mighty and shit. He's just going to be like, kind of like a nod of, good day.
I mean, that could work. But definitely, that is what you would have seen as one of the last things. All right. So with that, we will work out over the next week all the stuff that happens during your break and get that all marked out and worked through. And then we will come back next week with you starting your second semesters of your first year at Aegis Academy. Yeah.
Rock the fuck up.
As always, you all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all chose to be here tonight with us, so we appreciate you all. We're glad that you're here. Shout out to Web Blogger for following. Best I can say that name. I went with it, shot my shot, probably failed, but I'm okay with
Probably
it.
butchered the shit out that.
Oh man, damn, butchering is hell yes.
Chopped it all up. I chopped and screwed it like a remix.
Might as well call it an AA Ron.
Hey, Ron.
You done fucked up now, Ron.
But as always, we'll catch you here later throughout the week. And next week, you'll get the recap on all the great stuff that has happened. Who knows? I might